Previously in chapters 1861 to 1880, surrounded by 6 mid-stage void turbulent experts from the Green Devil continent, Wang Lin retreats to the underground palace of the Extreme Sky Prairie. There, overcoming the selfish schemes of Lu Wenran and gaining the support of the other cultivators, Wang Lin secures the right to fuse with the Heavenly Bull soul armor. The armor temporarily boosts his cultivation to the early void turbulent stage, turning him into an unstoppable force. He slaughters the Green Devil messengers, forces Lu Wenran to his death, and utilizes his faith-fueled Sundered Night spell to dispel the enemy and Oppo's darkness and decimate their ranks. However, the victory is short-lived. Wang Lin senses 3 agonizing roars from the Heavenly Bull and Oppo's soul, indicating that 3 other defensive meridians have fallen and their armor-bearers have been killed. Soon after, an urgent order arrives from the Guei sect, commanding Wang Lin's expression was calm. After hearing that the 1st, 2nd, and 7th meridians were destroyed, he remained calm. He had already sensed those 3 meridians being destroyed. Top secret plan? Wang Lin frowned. I only came to pass on the order and don't know the details. I hope fellow cultivator can quickly return to the sect. There is a total of 4 people like me who were sent to each meridian. Xian reached toward the void and a jade appeared. He threw it toward Wang Lin. This jade contains the exact location of the transfer array and can activate the formation 3 times. I hope fellow cultivator will be quick. I still have another task and will say goodbye first. Xian looked anxious. After he clasped his hands at Wang Lin, he left. Xian came and went quickly, but Wang Lin sensed the tension the cultivators of the Heavenly Bull sect felt in this war. After pondering for a moment, Wang Lin looked down at the jade. On the ground, several rays of light flew out and revealed to be Yen Lu and the other void turbulent cultivators. They were silent. After a long time, Wang Lin put the jade away and looked at Yen Lu and company. He clasped his hands at them. Fellow cultivators, we have been together for months, but it is time to part. Fate allows it, we will have a chance to fight together again. Goodbye. Wang Lin's gaze swept past Yen Lu, and without hesitation he turned around. Ripples echoed under his feet and his figure disappeared. Wang Lin left very casually. He didn't belong to the Heavenly Bull continent, so it was fine if he came or left. Just like the wind, there might be no trace of him after he flew past. Yen Lu and company looked at where Wang Lin was with complicated expressions for half an incense stick of time. These months of coexistence had been complicated and difficult to forget. It was something that they would remember for the rest of their lives. On the day after Wang Lin left, all the cultivators left with Yen Lu and company. They left the Extreme Sky Prairie and gave up on this place to head toward the location Xian had given them. The defense of the Heavenly Bull's 3rd meridian was over. Guei sect, one of the 2 most powerful sects of the Heavenly Bull continent. One of the 9 sects and 13 factions of the Eastern continent. Although not the strongest, it was also not the weakest. The entire Guei sect occupied a large part of the Heavenly Bull continent. Those endless peaks contained countless ancient buildings and gave off an unspeakable sense of mystery under the fog. The Guei sect was structured with multiple layers of rings that seemed to form a huge vortex that covered an endless area. Like the Great Soul sect, the Guei sect had a large amount of disciples. A sect like this had many powerful cultivators. Tens of thousands of kilometers from the Guei sect, there was a burst of light that lit up the sky. This sudden change immediately caught the attention of the Guei sect. Dozens of rays of light flew toward the formation. Inside the formation light, a white-haired and white-clothed Wang Lin began to appear. However, it was only his figure and not his appearance. Just as he was about to appear, the dozens of lights had already surrounded Wang Lin. Who are you, sir? Please take out your identification jade. A cold voice echoed. The person who spoke was a middle-aged man at the late stage of arcane void. He wore a 5-element Dao robe and stared at Wang Lin with a cold gaze. The surrounding cultivators were all wearing Guei sect 5-element Dao robes and were waiting for Wang Lin to take out the identification jade. Right now was a time of war, and if Wang Lin couldn't take out the jade, they would immediately kill him. After Wang Lin's figure became completely clear, the surrounding cultivators saw the Heavenly Bull tattoo on his face. The expressions of the surrounding cultivators all changed and they retreated a few steps. They clearly felt the aura of the heavenly bull's soul that made them tremble. They had clearly felt this aura from 2 other people yesterday. We all greet Heavenly Bull Messenger. I wonder what meridian did Messenger come from? What sect? The middle-aged man who spoke coldly before immediately became polite. The surrounding cultivators quickly clasped their hands too. They felt respect from the bottom of their hearts toward a Heavenly Bull Messenger who could guard one of the meridians. Although they could see that Wang Lin's cultivation level was not high, just like Ouyang Zhan, they thought that there had to be something extraordinary about someone who could fend off the Green Devil Continent's attack. Great Soul Sect, Wang Lin. Heavenly Bull 3rd Meridian. Extreme Sky Prairie. Wang Lin clasped his hands at everyone. Lord Messenger, please. The sect master has sent out an order. All messengers must head to the main hall. The middle-aged man raised his hand and welcomed Wang Lin. Wang Lin nodded and looked at the Guiyi sect in the distance. This was not the first time he had been here. In fact, in the cave world, he had sensed the Guiyi sect from the rift in the Wind Celestial Realm. There were also some old friends here. He stepped out from the formation and, accompanied by the middle-aged man and the surrounding cultivators, they flew toward the Guiyi sect. However, before everyone flew far, the transfer array released a dazzling light once more that spread out in all directions. This sudden change caught the attention of Wang Lin and these cultivators. The middle-aged man's expression became cold once more, and he stared at the formation with a serious expression. Inside the formation, the figure of a woman slowly walked out. It was not possible to clearly see her appearance, but her figure was very beautiful. Just one look and your heart would skip a beat. Shortly after, the woman's figure became clear. It was a woman wearing purple. She looked young and very beautiful. She possessed a sense of serenity that spread out and made her look like a goddess. On the right side of her beautiful face, there was also a heavenly bull tattoo. Not only did this tattoo not reduce her beauty, it gave her a mysterious aura. Xiaosheng Sect's Xianxia. Heavenly Bull's 6th Meridian, Azure Sea Mountain Range. The woman said softly as her gaze swept by the people before her. Her gaze stopped on Wang Lin for a moment, but she was still calm. After seeing the woman, Wang Lin's eyes narrowed. He took a closer look and felt that she looked familiar, but he could not remember why. Xianxia frowned slightly toward Wang Lin's gaze and calmly glanced at Wang Lin. Fellow cultivator, which meridian did you come from? Her voice was crisp and beautiful. Heavenly Bull's 3rd meridian, Wang Lin slowly said. He continued to observe her, trying to figure out why she felt familiar. He was certain that this woman was not someone from the cave world. However, his gaze was very rude to the woman. She frowned and looked at Wang Lin with a hint of disgust. She coldly looked at Wang Lin and softly said, Fellow cultivator, have you met me before? I have not met you before, but I feel like you are a bit familiar. Wang Lin pondered and realized that his actions were a bit rude. He gave an apologetic smile and withdrew his gaze. After hearing Wang Lin's words, Xianxia felt even more disgust. She had heard similar words many times before and considered Wang Lin a skirt chaser. She no longer spoke and flew toward the Guiyi sect. Wang Lin rubbed his nose as he flew toward the Guiyi sect under the strange gaze from the middle-aged man. Soon, everyone flew into the Guiyi sect and entered the formation with the middle-aged man leading the way. Purple light flashed. It seemed like it was not Xianxia's first time coming to the Guiyi sect. She directly headed for the Great Hall. Half an hour later, Wang Lin saw a huge square where a huge clock was hanging upside down in the sky. It gave off bursts of pressure. There were 2 cultivators sitting under the clock. One was a gloomy-faced old man who seemed to ignore everything around him. On the right side of his face, the tattoo of the Heavenly Bull was flashing and giving off the aura of the Heavenly Bull's soul. The other person was a young man who had a lazy expression, but if one looked closely, one could see the light in his eyes. Although he looked lazy, once his expression became serious, he would be like a different person. There was also a Heavenly Bull tattoo flashing on the right side of his face. When Xianxia arrived, the young man looked over and didn't care at all. However, a moment later, his expression collapsed, revealing a look of shock. He suddenly stood up and stared at Xianxia. Or rather, he was staring behind Xianxia, at the white-haired Wang Lin, who was being guided by several cultivators. Wang Lin also saw him. Xianxia was shocked by the young man's drastic change. She knew knew his identity, and knew his reputation on the Heavenly Bull continent. In the past, she had seen his proud figure from the crowds, but she had never seen him reveal such an expression. After being startled for a moment, Xianxia subconsciously turned her head and looked at the figure that she felt disgust toward. Brother Wang! The young man's lazy expression disappeared. His aura suddenly changed, his powerful cultivation erupted, and he laughed loudly. He charged forward and instantly closed in on Wang Lin. As he closed in, he raised his right hand like a blade. There was a burst of golden light from his right hand, and it turned into a golden blade that chopped down on Wang Lin. This blade had the power to split the heavens and cause the world to change colors. The sky was filled with a golden glow, and all the celestial energy in the vicinity gathered. It was as if this golden blade had the power to devour the world. This sudden change caused the expressions of the cultivators that followed Wang Lin, including the middle-aged man, to change greatly. Without hesitation, they rapidly retreated from Wang Lin's sides. Xianxia's pupils shrank as she stared at the figure of the young man whose right hand was like a blade. That figure quickly overlapped with the proud figure in her memories. If I don't activate the Heavenly Bull soul armor, I can't resist that blow. Xianxia was only at the 8th arcane tribulent. Once she went through the 9th arcane tribulent, she could truly enter the early stage of void tribulent. There was also the old man who was sitting under the clock. He suddenly opened his eyes and looked over. His cultivation was unfathomable, and he gave off the aura of a mid-stage void tribulent cultivator. He was very similar to the 7-colored celestial sovereign at his peak. Wang Lin's expression remained the same. When the young man's golden blade was less than 100 feet away, his eyes shined and stared at the young man's eyes. He raised his hand and pointed forward. With one point, the entire world paused as if a strange force had solidified the world, solidified the rules, solidified the celestial energy around the golden blade, and solidified every movement of the young man. The golden blade that was like a landslide was broken without Wang Lin attacking at all. The moment the young man was frozen, Wang Lin calmly landed on the square below the clock. Xianxia saw all of this and her heart trembled. She suddenly looked toward Wang Lin, and her eyes revealed a mysterious light. As for the mid-stage void tribulent old man, he frowned and glanced at Wang Lin. The stop spell had only lasted for a moment, and the young man recovered his movement. He revealed a bitter smile as the golden light around him disappeared. He looked at Wang Lin with a complicated gaze and slowly revealed a sincere smile. We haven't met in many years, and Brother Wang does not disappoint. I'm still not your match. This young man was the Gui Sect's Yunifeng. Can you change your unique way of greeting me in the future? Wang Lin frowned and looked at Yunifeng. Yunifeng landed beside Wang Lin and laughed. Seeing Wang Lin, he felt very happy. Looking back at what happened in the cave world, they had been enemies and also friends. It was complicated, and looking back made him feel a bit emotional. After all, those tens of thousands of years in the cave world were the majority of his life. Brother Wang, after I left the cave, I immediately used the power of the sect to find you, but found nothing. I didn't expect you to suddenly appear like this. I was happy and naturally wanted to continue our battle, Yunifeng said sincerely as he opened his arms toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin paused for a moment and looked at Yunifeng. After pondering for a moment, he walked forward and hugged Yunifeng. Yunifeng was very happy. He pulled Wang Lin to the side so they could continue talking. However, just at this moment, a voice filled with majesty echoed from the great hall before them. Everyone is here. Yunifeng stopped and looked at Wang Lin. His expression immediately became serious and he stood there respectfully. The person who spoke is my Gui Sect's sect master, late-stage void tribulent. Wang Lin heard Yunifeng's voice. He didn't make a sound as he looked at the great hall that looked like a giant beast. The three of you, tell me your names. The majestic voice echoed once more. Tangjian put on a serious expression and softly said, Xioshan Sect Tangjia. Rogue Cultivator Edge Cloud. The old man stood up and clasped his hands at the great hall. Great Soul Sect Wang Lin. Wang Lin slowly said before looking around. He noticed that when the voice echoed before, an invisible restriction had shrouded the area so no one could hear anything from outside. What secretly shocked him was that the changes in the world here were also disrupted. so it was impossible to divinate what was happening here. This wasn't an individual restriction, but part of the formation that protected the entire sect. 3 of the 7 Heavenly Bull Meridians have been destroyed and 3 Heavenly Bull Messengers have died. The 4 of you defended the Meridians and achieved great merits. After discussing it with the Great Soul Sect, those that achieved merits should be rewarded. The majestic voice gave off an ancient aura as if it had lived for far too long and had forgotten the passage of time. Edgecloud. The voice echoed. Here. The old man named Edgecloud walked up. You have guarded the 4th meridian and have achieved merits. I'll take you as an elder of the metal faction and give the treasure metal element armor. The majestic voice echoed and an array of golden light flew out. It emitted a powerful killing intent that shrouded the square. The golden light stopped beside Edgecloud and turned into a golden suit of armor that gave off a terrifying pressure. Edgecloud was no longer calm and was very excited. Thank you, Sect Master. Edgecloud took a deep breath and clasped his hands at the Great Hall. The moment he bowed, the golden light turned into countless golden threads and entered his body. Xianxia. The majestic voice echoed once more. You guarded the 6th meridian and have achieved merits. I'll allow your Xiaoshun sect to expand 3-fold, recruit 3 times more disciples, and obtain 3 times the cultivation resources. I'll also give you the Guai sect's treasure water element armor. A ray of blue light flew out from the Great Hall and turned into a sea that filled the world. It swept forward and shrouded Xianxia, entering her body through her pores. Xianxia's body trembled and there were ripples in her calm eyes. She bowed and respectfully said, Thank you, Senior Sect Master. Yunifeng. Yunifeng became serious and stepped forward with a bow. You guarded the 4th meridian and have achieved merits. Because you already have the sect's elemental armor, I'll teach you one of my 4 spells and give you one of my celestial treasures, the Slaughter Spirit Dagger. As his words echoed, 2 rays of light flew out from the Great Hall. One was a jade and the other was a dagger. It was very strange. It had 9 thorns that gave off a terrifying aura. Thank you, Sect Master. Yunifeng was excited as he accepted the 2 items and bowed at the Great Hall. Wang Lin. The majestic voice paused for a moment before it slowly echoed. Wang Lin was calm as he looked at the Great Hall and walked forward. You guarded the 3rd meridian and have achieved merits. I'll give you the fire element armor. A ray of fire flew out from the Great Hall through the air and turned into a suit of fire armor that shot toward Wang Lin. The rewards have been given. Now I'll give you guys a top secret mission. The voice echoed. Yunifeng wanted to say something, but after looking at the Great Hall, he silently pondered. The 3 of them had obtained 2 rewards, but had only Wang Lin obtained 1. Yunifeng wasn't the only one who had doubts. Xianxia and the old man both looked at Wang Lin and noticed this issue. Edgecloud had a high cultivation level and a gloomy personality. Since it wasn't related to him, he didn't care. He withdrew his gaze and didn't question it anymore. Xianxia had a bad impression of Wang Lin and would naturally not care. Your mission is, the voice echoed. But before the voice could finish, there is a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes. Wait! Wang Lin stared at the Great Hall and stepped forward, interrupting the sect master of the Guai sect. The moment Wang Lin spoke, Yunifeng's expression changed and he signaled Wang Lin. Xianxia also looked at Wang Lin. She didn't expect him to dare to speak at a time like this. Even Edgecloud turned to look at Wang Lin. Your mission is to head to the Green Devil continent, sneak into the Green Devil Temple, and destroy the Green Devil statue to seriously injure the Green Devil soul. Once that is done, the 4 of you will have done a great deed for the Heavenly Bull continent. The voice completely ignored Wang Lin's words and continued with the secret mission. After these words came out, Edgecloud's expression changed, and Xianxia was the same. It seemed like it was the first time Yunifeng had heard of this as well. All 3 of their expressions changed. Entering the Green Devil continent was simply too dangerous. If they made a small mistake, they would not be able to come back. The Green Devil continent is basically empty right now. As for the ancestors of the Green Devil continent, there will naturally be people who will restrain them. Now that the mission has been stated, what do you want to say, Wang Lin? The voice was still calm and slow, as if very few things could shake it. Junior doesn't understand why everyone has obtained 2 rewards and I only obtained a fire element armor. Wang Lin wasn't polite at all. He was no longer alone. He was now an elder of the Great Soul sect. As a result, he could not stand for this. Even if the other party was the sect master of the Guei sect, he would still question them. Your cultivation level is the lowest, so just one armor is enough. This decision was made by both the Guei sect and the Great Soul sect. You don't have to understand it, but you must accept it. If you don't like the fire element armor, then this old man will take it away. The majestic voice echoed once more. The floating fire armor turned into a sea of fire and returned back to the Great Hall. Wang Lin looked at the Great Hall and slowly said, "Since this was a decision between the two sects, do you have proof?" After Wang Lin spoke, a ray of ghostly light came out of the Great Hall. There was a strand of white hair inside the ray of light. The white hair erupted and a figure appeared. This figure was that of old ancestor Green Bull. The matter of the reward has its own reasons there. This old man will not change. If Wang Lin doesn't agree quickly, this is the proof this old man will now leave. Wang Lin stared at the projection of old ancestor Green Bull. He knew that this was not the avatar, but a divine sense imprint. The proof has been given to you. Step back. The Guei sect master's cold voice came from the Great Hall. Wang Lin's expression revealed nothing. If this matter was really the decision between the Guei sect and the Great Soul sect, then with such an unfair decision, Wang Lin wouldn't need to worry about his agreement with old ancestor Green Bull. Wang Lin silently pondered and no longer spoke as he calmly stood there. He acted like nothing had happened and didn't feel any heartache for the fire element armor that was taken away. This old man will now activate the formation that has not been opened for countless years to send the four of you to the Green Devil continent. Before you four leave behind a wisp of your life soul. Once you complete your task, this old man will teleport you all back. After hearing about the matter of the life souls, Wang Lin's pupil shrank. The advantage was being able to be teleported back. The disadvantage was that he would have no freedom, as the other party would know his whereabouts at every moment. Yunifeng was a disciple of the Guei sect, so he didn't hesitate. His right hand touched the spot between his eyebrows and his body trembled. A wisp of soul came out to form a ball, and it flew toward the Great Hall. The old man named Edgecloud hesitated for a moment but didn't refuse. He also exacted a wisp of his life soul and sent it to the Great Hall. As for Xianxia, she pondered for a while and then clenched her teeth. She was willing to pay any price for the development of her sect. Not to mention this was necessary, or else she couldn't be teleported back from the Green Devil continent. The three of them all sent out their life souls, leaving only Wang Lin. Wang Lin silently pondered. After a long time, he looked at the Great Hall and slowly spoke. "I refuse to do this. I need to head back to the Great Soul sect to meet with the old ancestor before making a decision. Goodbye." After Wang Lin spoke, he slowly retreated and was about to leave the square. "You can leave, but leave behind the soul armor." The majestic voice echoed from the Great Hall. A giant hand made of black gas that covered the sky reached toward Wang Lin. There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes. Countless thoughts flashed through his mind. Everything was happening too fast for him to figure out what had happened to cause all his. The change in the attitude of old ancestor Green Bull, and the Guei sect making it difficult for him. Something Wang Lin wasn't aware of was happening. He even felt that if he handed over the soul armor, it would be very difficult to leave the Guei sect. Without the cultivation boost from the soul armor, he would be in a dangerous situation. This feeling was very strong. In truth, Wang Lin didn't want to keep the soul armor for himself. His original plan was to complete the 3 conditions to repay those 3 gifts. Then he would leave the soul armor and leave alone. After all, this item didn't belong to himself, but to the entire Heavenly Bull continent. However, this strange turn of events caused Wang Lin to become extremely cautious. He didn't know what changes had occurred in the Heavenly Bull continent during the half-year. He was at the extreme sky prairie. With no information, he could not allow the soul armor to be taken away. With the soul armor, he still had a little power to survive, but without it, he felt like he would fall into an abyss. This matter began when I came to the Guei sect. They were obviously being unfair. If I spoke up, then I would fall into their trap. If I had remained silent, then there was the matter with the life soul. They are forcing me to comply. At the end of the day, everything today was targeted at me. There is a problem here. The Guei sect knows my identity, knows that I come from the cave world, and also knows my connection with Xian Luo, yet they still. Wang Lin didn't understand and didn't have time to understand. Between abandoning the armor and facing the unknown, or keeping the armor and fighting, he didn't hesitate to choose the latter. The moment the giant hand closed in, the heavenly bull tattoo on the right side of Wang Lin's face released endless black light, shocking Yunifeng, Tangjia, and Edge Cloud. The black light instantly shrouded Wang Lin's entire body and turned into countless black threads. They took the form of a suit of black armor that exposed only his eyes and his white hair, which fluttered without any wind. Wang Lin's cultivation level suddenly increased from late-stage spirit void to early-stage void turbulent when he put on the armor. He raised his right hand and used the war spirit print. The huge six-fingered devil palm print appeared. It collided directly with the huge black hand. Thunderous rumbles echoed across the Guei sect square, and the six-fingered devil palm print collapsed. The black hand trembled and half of it collapsed, but the rest still landed on Wang Lin. With Wang Lin's current cultivation level, after being hit by the remains of the black hand, his face turned pale and blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth as he quickly retreated. Wang Lin has betrayed the Heavenly Bull Continent. Send out the Soul Order. All cultivators of the Heavenly Bull Continent can kill him on sight. Whoever kills him will be rewarded the Fire Element Armor, the Great Soul Sect's Vice Ghostly Sail, and a Heavenly Bull Bead. When Wang Lin was knocked back, he heard this. He gritted his teeth and felt an indescribable emotion. He vaguely felt like those 3 items were originally his reward. After these words echoed, Edge Cloud's expression changed greatly and he revealed a look of disbelief. Without hesitation, the Heavenly Bull tattoo on the right side of his face lit up and shrouded his whole body, forming the same Heavenly Bull soul armor that Wang Lin had. His cultivation level increased greatly and he broke through from the mid-stage of Void Turbulent to roughly the late stage. In a flash, he chased after Wang Lin. The reason he was so decisive was because of the Heavenly Bull Bead. The Heavenly Bull Beads were found by the Great Soul Sect and the Guei sect when they laid the foundation in the Heavenly Bull sect. There were only 7 of them. There were many uses for them, including making treasures, changing the effect of time, and cultivators could go inside them to cultivate. However, these weren't their most important uses. The most important use was that the beads could store the soul of the Heavenly Bull. This would allow someone with the soul armor to act as a separate existence and not lose the ability once they went too far from the Heavenly Bull Continent. With the Heavenly Bull Bead, one could wear the soul armor anywhere on the immortal astral continent, even in the ancient country, because this bead was the soul of the Heavenly Bull. Wang Lin had never heard of the Heavenly Bull Bead before. Otherwise, he would have been shocked to discover that it was surprisingly similar in some aspects to something he owned. Out of the 7 Heavenly Bull Beads, the Guei sect had 3 and the Great Soul Sect had 4. Over the countless years, they had never been taken out as rewards and had been used as the framework to create a holy land of cultivation for the 2 sects. This holy land could only be perfectly formed when 3 beads were together. As a result, it couldn't be the Guei sect. Only the Great Soul Sect could take one out because they had 1 extra. The Great Soul Sect's Sect Protection Ghostly Sail was a top secret of the Great Soul Sect. Its vice flag could release great power even far away. These 2 items were enough to make one go crazy. This was why Edge Cloud had made the decision to chase Wang Lin so quickly with red eyes. Tangjia trembled. After pondering for a bit, she clenched her teeth and black light surrounded her. Her soul armor appeared and her cultivation level reached mid-stage Void Turbulent. Then she chased as well. Only Yunifeng remained silent and had a gloomy expression. He didn't pursue. However, as Tangjia rushed out, he opened his mouth and sent a divine sense message to her. Tangjia trembled after she heard Yunifeng's message shortly after flying out. She suddenly looked back at Yunifeng. Is this true? Yunifeng looked at Tangjia and nodded. Tangjia's expression became complicated and she gave chase once more. However, her mentality had changed greatly from before. Only after Tangjia left did Yunifeng turn around and drop down on one knee toward the Great Hall. Sect Master, you have to give Disciple an explanation for this matter. Disciple has already informed the sect of Wang Lin's identity. and his relationship with Grand Emperor Xian Luo. There was silence from the Great Hall for a long time, and then a tired sigh echoed. Wang Lin quickly moved through the Guei sect. His expression was gloomy and he spread out his divine sense, but he soon noticed that something was wrong. The entire Guei sect was dead silent and there wasn't a single person around. Even the sect protection formation was not activated at this moment. This silence seemed to have been especially prepared for him to leave. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Everything had happened too suddenly for him to understand, but it was too late to think about it now. He quickly flew away. He moved at his fastest speed to leave the Guei sect. Behind him, Edge Cloud's eyes revealed a strange light as he chased after Wang Lin with his late-stage void turbulent cultivation. The two of them quickly flew through the Guei sect and then flew out of the Guei sect. A moment later, a ray of purple light flew out from the Guei sect. Following that, the sect formation activated and returned to normal. Wang Lin flew thousands of kilometers away from the Guei sect. It was not possible to use spatial bending in this area. The sect formation was disrupting this area. Just after Wang Lin left the disrupted area and was about to use spatial bending, Edge Cloud caught up. His eyes were cold and he suddenly raised his hand. The sky changed and 7 stars appeared in the blue sky. These 7 stars shined as if it was night. 7-star kill. There was a flash of coldness in Edge Cloud's eyes. He wanted to kill Wang Lin for the reward, even though he had sensed that something was wrong. However, he didn't care about that. He only acted like he was acting out the soul order given to hunt down Wang Lin for defecting. After taking this Wang Lin's head, then I can ask the Guei sect for the reward. Although there are some problems, I can say that I am simply acting on the order of the Guei sect's sect master. The Great Soul sect can't say anything either. After all, Wang Lin betrayed us first. I'm killing a traitor. Edge Cloud reaching the mid-stage of Void Turbulent as a rogue cultivator, and obtaining the recognition of the Heavenly Bull showed that there was something special about him. In a flash he made his decision. As Edge Cloud raised his hand, the 7 stars in the blue sky shined brightly. It was as if an ancient force had gathered in the blue sky. The 7 stars released a powerful howl as they fell from the endless sky. The howl seemed to be able to cut open the sky, and it formed an indescribable force. Ripples echoed under Wang Lin's feet and he was about to leave. However, he suddenly looked up at the sky. 7 meteor-like black lights were falling from the blue sky at an extremely fast speed. At the head of the lights, there was a fist-sized black star that was rapidly closing in. Even this far away, one could see the star as fist-sized, but if it was close, it had to be enormous. As Wang Lin looked, the fist-sized star turned into the size of a bowl and was rapidly expanding. It looked like it would expand it to 1,000 kilometers and cause everything within 1,000 kilometers to turn into ruins. Edge Cloud could only cast this spell when he had the cultivation level increase from the soul armor. More and more ripples echoed under Wang Lin's feet, and he was about to use spatial bending to leave. Edge Cloud obviously didn't know about Wang Lin's spells, so no matter how powerful his spell was, it would be impossible to keep Wang Lin here. However, just at this moment, a purple ray of light appeared behind Edge Cloud. Xianxia looked at Wang Lin with a complicated expression, and then moved very fast. She closed in on Edge Cloud and seemed like she was going to pass him. Senior Edge Cloud, I'll help you. The only reward I want is the fire element armor. Xianxia's soft voice echoed. Without waiting for his reply, Xianxia arrived within 1,000 feet of Edge Cloud. Edge Cloud frowned and didn't say anything, but Wang Lin suddenly paused. He clearly saw Xianxia close in, and when she was within 100 feet of Edge Cloud, there was something strange. What are you doing? Edge Cloud also noticed that something was wrong. His eyes lit up and he waved his sleeve as he retreated. A black wind surrounded his body, forming layers of protection. Xianxia's eyes released a golden glow and she raised her jade-like hand. 8 golden gates suddenly appeared around Edge Cloud. 8 gates seal. The 8 golden gates emitted endless golden light. After they appeared, they immediately enclosed Edge Cloud. This sudden change caused Wang Lin's eyes to narrow, and in a short period of time, many thoughts flashed through his head. He stopped, hesitated, and gave up on escaping. Instead, he turned into a ray of ghostly light and flew toward the sealed-edged cloud. Wang Lin's personality was always like this. If others didn't offend him, then he would avoid provoking them unless it was absolutely necessary. However, now that Edgecloud had tried to kill him, he would find any opportunity to fight back. When he saw Xianxia use the Golden Gates, he realized why she felt so familiar. This woman's aura and appearance were very similar to the third concubine, Xian. After connecting their names, Wang Lin could determine that this woman and Xian had a deep connection. All of this happened in an instant and Edgecloud was caught off guard. 3 of the 7 stars that appeared in the sky disappeared due to him losing control. The remaining 4 continued falling and looked like they would land soon. When the 4 stars landed, black fire began burning on the stars. Before they even landed, waves of heat spread out. This heat seemed to have the power to reverse the heavens and earth. Wang Lin ignored the stars falling from the sky and instantly closed in on the sealed Edgecloud. He raised his right hand and waved. The world rumbled and the 7-colored lance appeared. It changed color 3 times and became the 3rd transformation of the 7-colored lance. Shortly after, Wang Lin used his unparalleled casting speed to form seals, and the huge 6-fingered devil palm print appeared and shot toward Edgecloud. Merely these 2 spells weren't enough to seriously injure Edgecloud. Wang Lin clenched his teeth as he formed seals and pointed at the sky. Their surroundings rumbled as the world became the sea and everything turned dark. Sunlight suddenly appeared on the horizon. This was the 2nd time Wang Lin had used Sundered Night since he put on the soul armor. Since Xianxia had decided to help, she didn't hesitate at all. Her hands formed seals and a giant golden whip appeared in this dark night. The whip lashed out with an aura that could destroy the heavens, aimed at Edgecloud. Her casting speed couldn't compare to Wang Lin's. In the time Wang Lin used 3 spells, she had only used 1. Edgecloud's expression changed greatly. He was currently sealed by the 8 gates. These 8 gates were Xianxia's most powerful spell, and it had been used when she was at the mid-stage of Void Turbulent. Its sealing power was enough to make Edgecloud's eyes red with killing intent. At this moment, he no longer cared about other matters. He bit the tip of his tongue to cough out blood. This blood turned into countless blood-colored ghosts that rushed toward the gates while letting out a shrieking howls. There was a thunderous bang and the 8 gates collapsed. Just as Edgecloud recovered, he had to face the 3rd transformation of the 7-colored lance. He could not escape, so he waved his sleeve and a small, white shield the size of his palm appeared. In a flash, it collided with the 7-colored lance. Thunderous rumbles echoed and the lance collapsed, but countless cracks appeared on the white shield. Before it collapsed, Wang Lin's 6-fingered devil palm print shrank from its endless size until it was 100 feet large and landed on the small shield. The small white shield could no longer resist and shattered. The palm print landed before Edgecloud. Thunderous rumbles echoed and Edgecloud's face turned pale. As he was knocked back, he pointed to between his eyebrows and let out a roar. As he roared, the image of the heavenly bull appeared and also roared. Ripples echoed and the 6-fingered devil palm print collapsed, but Wang Lin had cast 3 spells. When the palm print collapsed, Sundered Night shrouded the area. The rising sun appeared and erupted with the power to tear apart the night. Faith spell. After being bombarded by spells, Edgecloud was able to see the issue with the sun for the first time. His eyes were filled with extreme fear and he quickly retreated. But just as he retreated, Xianxia's golden whip closed in like the sun. It broke through the darkness and instantly arrived before Edgecloud. Edgecloud coughed out blood and was in a sorry state as he was pushed back. The only thought in his mind was to retreat out of the area of effect of the spell. However, he was a step too late. The sun rose into the sky and the tearing force spread out like crazy. Edgecloud coughed out blood once more and his eyes were bloodshot. At this moment he felt danger and made a decision in his heart. As he retreated, he suddenly stopped and pressed his hands against his eyebrows. He leaned back a bit and then fiercely threw something forward. A heavenly bull with its front hoof raised appeared. Its horn was pointed at the sky and it actually charged toward the sun. The heavenly bull charged toward the sun like crazy. Edgecloud's cultivation level was very high with the soul armor, but after the heavenly bull rushed toward the sun, his cultivation level reduced greatly. It fell back down to mid-stage Void Turbulent from late-stage Void Turbulent. He had used this spell by giving up the short time he had left to wear the armor in order to break Sundered Night. All of this happened in a flash. The heavenly bull quickly collided with the sun and thunderous rumbles echoed. Wang Lin coughed out blood. When Sundered Night collapsed, he was knocked back thousands of feet. As for Edge Cloud, he seemed to have aged thousands of years and blood flowed out from his mouth as he retreated. However, how could Wang Lin let him escape? Wang Lin ignored his injuries and rushed out toward Edge Cloud. He was going to take advantage of the fact that the soul armor had dissipated to kill Edge Cloud. Tang Jia silently pondered and no longer attacked. She had only helped on behalf of her sister. At this moment, she looked at Wang Lin with a complicated expression, and then disappeared into the distance. Wang Lin was filled with killing intent and closed in on Edge Cloud. He raised his right hand and smashed down on Edge Cloud. This punch contained his ancient Dao power, and the world changed colors. Edge Cloud was knocked back and coughed out blood. Wang Lin's body also trembled, but he clenched his teeth and charged out once more. The two of them attacked several times, and fear appeared in Edge Cloud's eyes. He had seen crazy people before, but he had never met a madman like Wang Lin, who was doing whatever it took to kill with no regard to himself. Just as Wang Lin and Edge Cloud were fighting, several thousands of kilometers away, a giant black hand appeared and reached toward this location. Wang Lin's expression sank and he gave up on trying to kill Edge Cloud. The ripples under his feet echoed and he disappeared, merging with the world. The giant black hand closed in and pulled Edge Cloud back into the Guei sect. This battle was very short. It wasn't until after Wang Lin left that the 4 stars in the sky fell to the earth. Thunderous rumbles echoed through the 1,000-kilometer area, and large amounts of dust covered the region. It took a long time for the dust to clear, leaving only countless pieces of smoking black stones. Ripples echoed above a mountain that was 2 months of flight away. Wang Lin stepped out with a pale expression. He stood there and pondered for a long time. A moment later he looked up and around. His expression was bleak. Heavenly Bull Continent, it's time to leave. With a sigh Wang Lin looked out and he was startled. He was familiar with this place as he had come here before. This was where the 7 Dao sect was located. He had moved inadvertently and didn't have a fixed location, but he didn't expect to actually come here. Looking at the black fog surrounding the mountain below, Wang Lin let out a sigh. He charged into the fog and flew toward the direction of the 7 Dao sect. Soon after, Wang Lin saw a group of palaces that gave off a decaying aura in the mountains. Wang Lin landed in the square outside the main hall. Most of the stone here was damaged and covered in weeds. He sat down and looked at the 7 Dao sect. The bleak feeling in his heart was slowly replaced by warmth. In some sense, this place was his home. Wang Lin closed his eyes and sat here to adjust his injuries. He had long put away the soul armor, and in his weakened state, he released EC to guard him. In a flash, 3 days passed. After 3 days, Wang Lin opened his eyes and looked at the 7 Dao sect. The first time he came, he had only swept the area. Now that it was his second time and he held the complicated feeling of having to leave the Heavenly Bull Continent, he walked through the 7 Dao sect. He walked past every building and the places where the 7 Dao sect disciples had lived. In the end, he walked into the main hall of the 7 Dao sect. There was a huge throne there. It obviously belonged to the 7-colored celestial sovereign. Looking at the silent hall, the table and chairs were covered in dust. It gave off a sense of decay. Wang Lin stood there and watched for a long time. He closed his eyes and seemed to feel the existence of the cave world. He suddenly felt homesick. He missed the cave world, he missed everyone there. He seemed to be able to see into the cave world. A beautiful woman with long fluttering hair was standing on the hill and looking up at the dark sky as if she was looking for a pair of eyes up there. After a long time, Wang Lin opened his eyes and walked out of the temple. He stood in the 7 Dao sect alone, and his expression gradually became gloomy. He still had to face the cruel reality. A dramatic change must have taken place in the Heavenly Bull Continent during these months. This change caused them to change their reward to me, or force me to leave, but they allowed me to leave. As for the Great Soul Sect, Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He vaguely felt like he had grasped something, but it wasn't clear. He raised his right hand and opened his palm. A 3-inch person immediately appeared. After the little person appeared, it knelt down and bowed at Wang Lin 3 times. Wang Lin's heart trembled and he closed his palm. His divination was blurry and he could not see anything, but one sentence appeared in his heart. The matter of the reward has its own reasons. This old man will not change. If Wang Lin doesn't agree quickly, this is the proof this old man will now leave. This sentence came from the hair that old ancestor Green Bull had left with the Guai sect master for Wang Lin. Wang Lin carefully thought about this sentence. The soul I Dao had revealed a blur, and only this sentence appeared. There had to be a hidden meaning inside. Wang Lin muttered it several times and his body suddenly trembled violently. He suddenly looked up and his eyes shined brightly. The matter of the reward has its own reasons there. This old man will not change. If Wang Lin doesn't agree quickly, this is the proof this old man will now leave. The last word of each line are, there change, quickly leave. There are change, quickly leave. Something has changed, leave. Wang Lin took a deep breath. This sentence was a secret reminder. No matter how it was explained, it was old ancestor Green Bull's method of telling Wang Lin to quickly leave. Even with old ancestor Green Bull's cultivation level, he had to imply this to me. He even worried about me not understanding and worked with the Guai sect master to give me an unfair reward to force me out from the Heavenly Bull continent. Once I leave, that means I can't stay in the Heavenly Bull continent and will have to leave as soon as possible. Old ancestor Green Bull wants me to leave the Heavenly Bull continent as soon as possible. Wang Lin silently pondered. He felt like there was a huge mystery covering the Heavenly Bull continent, and it was the reason for the sudden change in attitude of the Great Soul sect and the Guai sect. Similarly, Wang Lin speculated that this mystery was likely connected to the Green Devil continent. He always had doubts about the real reason the two continents had gone to war. Wang Lin thought about it a lot, but all of it was his speculation. He didn't know the real secret. After a moment, Wang Lin looked into the distance and revealed a decisive gaze. Forget it, this place is already murky water. Since the matter has already occurred, it's useless to think about. It is time to leave the Heavenly Bull continent. However, I fear that leaving won't be so simple. There will likely be obstructions. If my guess is correct, a majority of them will be from the Green Devil continent. Wang Lin muttered to himself. He was about to leave, but his expression suddenly changed and he looked at the mountain covered in black fog. In a flash he disappeared without a trace. After Wang Lin disappeared, the fog churned and a figure flew in from the outside. This figure was very careful and carefully looked around to make sure there was no one following him before he felt relieved. He slowly landed on the square of the Seven Dao sect. Damn it, I encountered some problems on the way and arrived a few days late. I hope I didn't delay the arrangement set by the old ancestor. The figure looked nervous as he looked around. Then he found a corner and was about to sit down. However, just at this moment, a voice echoed through the square. Du Qing. This figure was Du Qing. After he heard someone shouting his name, he immediately flew into the air in panic. But soon that panic became joy. Fellow cultivator Wang Lin. He heard Wang Lin's voice. Wang Lin frowned and appeared. He looked at Du Qing, who he hadn't seen for a while, and suddenly spoke. Who told you to come here? Elder Wang, it was the Great Soul Sect's old ancestor Green Bull, who found me a few months ago to arrive here 3 days ago to deliver something to you. Du Qing quickly landed before Wang Lin, and his right hand reached out. A black stone appeared in his hand. This stone looked very ordinary. Du Qing had spent the whole time trying to find some clues along the way, but he couldn't find anything. However, he remembered how serious old ancestor Green Bull's expression was, so he felt that it was definitely a treasure. Wang Lin's eyes lit as he took the black stone and looked at it. His pupils shrank. He felt the aura of the soul I Dao from it. Wang Lin held the black stone up. It was not a space stone. He looked up at Du Qing and clasped his hands. Many thanks, Brother Du. Du Qing quickly shook his head. He blinked and softly asked, what is inside? Wang Lin faintly smiled and shook his head without answering. He looked at the sky and spoke slowly. I won't say more. Brother Du, if there is a chance we will meet again. Goodbye. Wang Lin let out a sigh and disappeared with one step toward the sky. As Du Qing looked at Wang Lin's departing figure, he vaguely understood something. He secretly let out a sigh and shook his head. He then turned into a ray of light to head back to the Great Soul Sect to tell old ancestor Green Bull he had completed his task. Wang Lin merged with the world and left the Seven Dao sect. He appeared in a desolate desert, which was not common in the Heavenly Bull continent. It was night and the cold wind was blowing through the desert. The wind was bone-chilling and was enough to freeze mortals. Cultivators could resist it, but for third-step cultivators like Wang Lin, this wind felt gentle. He was still holding the black stone in his hand. He lowered his head and looked at the stone in his palm. He didn't know if he should open it. Although he didn't know what it was, the Soul I Dao aura secretly told Wang Lin the method to opening it. A moment later, Wang Lin revealed a decisive gaze. He opened his palm and the 3-inch little person appeared next to the black stone. In a flash it entered the stone. Crackling sounds echoed across the desert night, entering Wang Lin's ears along with the howl of the wind. After the 3-inch little person entered, thin cracks appeared on the stone, and within 3 breaths of time it shattered completely. 4 balls of light suddenly flew out. After seeing the 4 balls of light, Wang Lin's heart trembled and he was startled. The first ball of light contained a fist-sized Earthman. The Earthman was sitting down. It had no orifices, but its body constantly changed between armor and humanoid. Burst of earth element came from it. It seemed to fuse with the sand here, causing the sand to gently move. Wang Lin didn't know much about the suits of armor from the Guiyi sect, but he had seen some in the cave world and the ones the Guiyi sect had gifted out to the messengers. However, those suits of armor could not compare to the human armor inside the ball of light in terms of appearance or aura. Even Wang Lin, who didn't know much, could tell that they were not on the same level. This human-shaped armor was likely rare even in the Guiyi sect. Wang Lin didn't know what price old ancestor Green Bull had paid to obtain one for Wang Lin. Wang Lin silently pondered. Inside the second ball of light there was a small black sail. To be precise, it was a ghostly sail. It gave off an aura that would make one lose themselves in a dream. Wang Lin could feel the aura of the primary ghost sail that was used as the sect protection formation of the Great Soul Sect. If Wang Lin's speculation was correct, then this was the vice ghostly sail that was part of the reward for killing Wang Lin. Looking at the little ghostly sail, Wang Lin felt an indescribable feeling. The sect protection ghostly sail was very important to the Great Soul Sect. But old ancestor Green Bull had unexpectedly gifted it to him. Wang Lin could only silently ponder. Inside the third ball of light there was a brown bead. This bead was the same size as the heaven-defying bead, and even its aura was similar. After seeing this bead, Wang Lin had the illusion that he was looking at the heaven-defying bead that had fused with his soul. This is... Wang Lin was startled for a moment as he stared at it. He found more and more aspects that were the same as his heaven-defying bead, but it wasn't all of it. Although the bead was very similar to the heaven-defying bead, it was like comparing the firefly to the bright moon. One could become the sun, while the other could only be a faint starlight. Wang Lin felt the aura of the heavenly bull from this bead. Although he didn't know what it was, he had his guesses. It had a deep connection with the heavenly bull. Anything related to the heavenly bull was an important treasure to the Heavenly Bull continent. It would not be easily given out, nor would it be allowed to leave the Heavenly Bull continent. However, the bead had been sent to Wang Lin. Although it seemed very light, it weighed heavily on Wang Lin's heart. There was also the fourth ball of light. Inside was a broken tortoise shell that was covered in some pattern. Looking at it with the naked eye, it was blurry. However, when he looked at it with his divine sense, Wang Lin suddenly looked back toward the Great Soul Sect. He seemed to see an old man in the Great Soul Sect sitting on the green sky mountain. The old man was smiling at him, and he raised his right hand as if he was saying goodbye to Wang Lin. The tortoise shell contained the entire map of the Eastern continent. It was not very detailed, and the further from the Heavenly Bull continent it was, the more vague it became. It was mostly just a rough outline and simple introduction. But this map was extremely important to Wang Lin right now. In the tortoise shell, aside from the map, there was also a detailed description of the Heavenly Bull bead, which enlightened Wang Lin greatly. Esteemed Green Bull left only one sentence. It wasn't in the form of a divine sense message. It had been engraved inside the tortoise shell. Have a safe trip. After 300 years, come back to see the Great Soul Sect. There was no explanation, and it didn't mention the 3 conditions. It simply ended Wang Lin's karma with the Heavenly Bull continent with this one sentence. Wang Lin revealed a complicated expression. After a long time, he put away the human-shaped armor and the ghostly sail. He held up the Heavenly Bull bead and put the soul of the Heavenly Bull inside. Now he could take it anywhere he went. In the end, he carefully put the tortoise shell away and looked toward the Great Soul Sect. He clasped his hands and bowed. "I'll return," Wang Lin muttered before turning around. He flew away into the sky, toward the borders according to the map. He was going to the Donglin sect. The Donglin sect was in the northern part of the eastern continent in the Great Sage continent. It was 5 continents away from the Heavenly Bull continent. It was far away, and flying there would require years of time. Even with spatial bending, because Wang Lin couldn't use it repeatedly, it would still take him 1 to 2 years. And to head to the Donglin sect, there was one place he had to pass, the Green Devil continent. If he were to go around, it would waste even more time, and it would not just be 5 continents. There would be even more dangerous places to traverse. After pondering for a moment, Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He vaguely guessed that the change in the Great Soul sect and the Guai sect was related to the Green Devil continent. He didn't know if he was right or wrong, but if he was right, then there would likely be someone waiting for him at the edge of the Heavenly Bull continent. Although going to the Green Devil continent seemed dangerous, the place was mostly empty now. Perhaps the most dangerous place was actually the safest. After all, very few people would think that Wang Lin would dare to head to the Green Devil continent alone. After making his decision, Wang Lin changed directions and used spatial bending toward the Pill Sea. He was very careful as he charged at the Pill Sea. When he could not use spatial bending, he didn't fly through the air. After all, everyone in the Heavenly Bull continent was his enemy right now. Whether it was cultivators from the Heavenly Bull continent or the Green Devil continent, as long as they recognized him, it would be a slaughter. After all, ordinary Heavenly Bull continent cultivators only knew of the Soul Order, not the details. But Wang Lin was unwilling to kill Heavenly Bull continent cultivators, so whenever he could not use spatial bending, he would go into hiding. Once the time had passed, he would rush once more. As a result, his movement was a lot slower. When he moved past the extreme sky prairie and was only 1 spatial bending from the Pill Sea, which would take about 3 months of flight, several months had already passed. At this part of the Heavenly Bull continent, it was currently winter. Snow was falling from the sky, and this storm extended for tens of thousands of kilometers. It would still take half a month for Wang Lin to use spatial bending again. He spent this time in closed-door cultivation, and his injuries improved. He stepped on the snow and faced the cold wind as he moved forward. Not far from him, there was a mortal city in the snowy dusk that emitted scattered light. The smoke rose into the sky and blended together with the snow. It was very calm and very beautiful. This was the first time Wang Lin was going to enter the mortal world in the immortal astral continent. Although this place was still some distance from the Pill Sea, it was still considered its neighbor, but it was not destroyed when the Pill Sea collapsed. No mortal should have died due to the collapse of the Pill Sea. After all, the legend of the Pill Sea had existed for a long time. Whether it was the Green Devil continent or the Heavenly Bull continent, they would have made the area around the Pill Sea a forbidden land for mortals. However, if the celestial pill had exploded closer to the Heavenly Bull continent, then the city before Wang Lin would have instantly disappeared. The snowstorm became even more intense. The wind howled as if there was an evil spirit roaring in the sky. The rising smoke was immediately scattered before it could gather. The people in the city all wore cotton clothing and quickly walked home with their heads down. Wang Lin walked into the city at this moment. The snow fell and the cold wind blew by in the night as Wang Lin walked towards the city. He didn't know why he wanted to come here after he detected this city. Perhaps I'm searching for a feeling of being ordinary. Wang Lin walked in the show, causing a squeaking noise. A few snowflakes fell on his face. They were very cold. He walked from one side of the city to another. He left his footprints behind in the city, but they were quickly covered up by the snow. On the other side of the city, Wang Lin looked back. Along the way, he saw the entire city and the tens of thousands of lights coming from the homes. However, there was no feeling of warmth. He was like the footprints covered by the snow. He didn't belong here. This was the first time Wang Lin had this indescribable feeling. He vaguely understood that as his cultivation level increased, he had lost his final ties with the mortals. He secretly knew that turning to mortals 3 times was the limit, and after 3 times it was time to cut it off. This was a change in mentality. He wanted to rest in the city and watch the mortals live, but he was unable to fully integrate himself anymore. Is my heart no longer calm? Wang Lin looked up at the snow in the sky. He stood beside the gate at night alone, muttering to himself, I now have 8 essences. I only need 1 more essence to enter the arcane void stage. After that, I'm confident I can quickly go through the 9 arcane turbulence. Perhaps my heart is no longer calm, but I know that one day, it will be calm and I'll be able to silently comprehend the world in a mortal city. Wang Lin came, but he left with a sense of melancholy. It was as if he had left something, and he could not find it. This is a price. The price of being strong. Wang Lin silently walked through the closed city gate. He faced the wind as he walked away from the city. The tens of thousands of lights shined behind him and gave off warmth. Wang Lin longed for this warmth, but he could not touch it. The howling of the wind echoed through the snow, gradually forming a song of wind and snow that accompanied Wang Lin's lonely figure. A few months later, in the collapsed Pill Sea, this place had become a giant basin. There was nothing here. There was no trace of vitality, only desolation and death. Wang Lin's figure appeared in the sky above the Pill Sea. This was the second time he had come here. Compared to last time, he was in a parting mood. As Wang Lin walked through the desolate Pill Sea, he had his divine sense spread out. The closer he got to the Green Devil continent, the more cautious he was. After a month, when he stepped onto the Green Devil continent, he felt a gloomy aura shrouding the entire continent. This gloomy aura exuded coldness and bloodthirst, with a hint of evil. Mortals, beasts, and even cultivators born here would contain a hint of devilish nature. The land of the Green Devil continent was very different from the Heavenly Bull continent. There were few mountains, and most of the terrain was occupied by swamps. The endless swamps looked like they contained many terrible legends. It made one's skin crawl just walking over them. Wang Lin disliked the Green Devil continent a lot. There weren't many powerful cultivators left in the Green Devil continent. Mostly weak cultivators that held no threat to Wang Lin remained. However, he still maintained his previous pace where he used spatial bending to cross the Green Devil continent. He could feel that deep within the Green Devil continent, there was a mysterious force. This force was monstrous and filled with devilish energy. According to the tortoise shell, that was the location of the Green Devil continent's Green Devil Scorpion Temple. The Heavenly Bull continent didn't have a Heavenly Bull temple. This kind of temple required permission from the emperor. Without it, a temple couldn't be built. The devilish energy was very strong enough to affect one's mind. Wang Lin didn't approach that place but went around it. He continued to teleport toward the border of the Meng Earth continent. Time slowly passed. In a flash, several months went by. During this time, Wang Lin encountered some cultivators, but none of them could stop him. After several months, Wang Lin appeared at the edge of the Green Devil continent. At the border to the Meng Earth continent was one of the rare mountain ranges in the Green Devil continent. It was very tall and seemed to connect to the sky. After going over the mountain range, he would be at the Meng Earth continent. Standing under the mountain range, Wang Lin calmly looked at the towering mountains. He felt 2 monstrous devilish energy sources at the peak, which condensed to 2 giant scorpions that were coiled before the mountain. Those were 2 Green Devil messengers. Behind those 2 devilish energy sources, there was a monstrous sword energy at the peak of the mountain. When Wang Lin arrived, the ancient sword energy released an aura that could destroy the heavens and earth as it floated at the mountaintop. This was the first time Wang Lin had encountered a power that could stop him in the Green Devil continent. He felt a familiar aura coming from the sword. This meant that Wang Lin's decision to leave through the Green Devil continent was correct. If he had gone any other direction, he would have encountered even more obstacles. 3 people. They give me too much credit. Wang Lin remained casual and walked toward the mountain. The moment he stepped forward, 2 Green Devil auras rushed out. From a distance, they looked like 2 fierce Green Devil scorpions that were rushing down from the mountaintop toward Wang Lin. Shortly after, the ancient sword shadow at the top of the mountain let out a powerful sword hymn. It swept across the world and chopped down, following the two shadows. The world trembled. The power of this sword seemed to replace all light in the world. It was like a ray of light in the void. There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes, and the tattoo on the right side of his face flashed. It transformed into countless black threads that surrounded Wang Lin, and turned into a suit of armor that left only his white hair and cold eyes exposed. After Wang Lin put on the soul armor, his aura erupted and he instantly reached the early stage of Void Turbulent. He stepped forward and instantly closed in on the Green Devil Scorpion that was the first Green Devil Messenger. Just as the two closed in before Wang Lin even attacked, the Green Devil Messenger's cold face revealed a trace of madness. He didn't even use any spells, and the moment Wang Lin arrived, his hands formed a seal and he pointed to the spot between his eyebrows. Shortly after, a terrifying aura came from his body. This Green Devil Messenger was at the mid-stage of Void Turbulent, and he actually chose to self-destruct at this moment. This was a complete self-destruction without any hesitation. He suddenly exploded. The self-destruction of a mid-stage Void Turbulent cultivator was enough to shake the Green Devil continent. This force was powerful enough to even make late-stage Void Turbulent cultivators frown. There was no reason or any foreboding. After this Green Devil Messenger exploded, the other Green Devil Messenger behind him also chose self-destruct. The self-destruction of two mid-stage Void Turbulent cultivators could even force back a late-stage Void Turbulent cultivator. When the two Green Devil Messengers exploded, Wang Lin's eyes lit up and a powerful sense of crisis washed over him. The crisis was not from the power of the self-destruction, but why they had decided to self-destruct. The fight hadn't even begun, but they had chosen to self-destruct. This was simply too strange. Also behind him was Void Cloud, who controlled the powerful sword energy. The three of them had the power to fight Wang Lin, so there was no need to self-destruct at all. This was something extremely abnormal. To be willing to sacrifice two mid-stage Void Turbulent Green Devil Messengers, the Green Devil continent had to be up to something monstrous. They wouldn't allow Wang Lin to easily leave this place. Thunderous rumbles echoed and Wang Lin's eyes lit up. His right reached at the void and the human-shaped earth element armor appeared. With a wave, an earth-yellow light surrounded his body. Shortly after, Wang Lin erupted his full cultivation, and he no longer hid his ancient Dao aura. Once his ancient Dao aura was fully released, a huge figure that could support the world appeared. The moment the figure appeared, everyone within tens of thousands of kilometers could see it. A clear ripple of ancient Dao power spread out. The ancient Dao shadow let out a roar toward the sky and shrouded Wang Lin from the force of the self-destruction of the two Green Devil Messengers. There was a thunderous bang as the destructive force of the first self-destruction smashed into the ancient Dao shadow. The shadow trembled and showed signs of collapsing when the destructive force of the second self-destruction arrived. The rumble was heaven-shattering, and the ancient Dao shadow powered up by Wang Lin's early-stage Void Turbulent cultivation suddenly collapsed. When the shadow collapsed, a portion of the destructive force from the two self-destructions still remained, and they fell on the first layer of the armor Wang Lin was wearing, the human-shaped earth element armor. The terrifying destructive force was completely resisted by Wang Lin's ancient Dao shadow, his powerful physical body, and the mysterious human-shaped earth element armor. Even so, Wang Lin felt his origin soul tremble, and he was forced back tens of thousands of feet as blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. A palm-sized fracture appeared at the chest area of the earth element armor, but it didn't collapse. They want to injure me to delay me. Wang Lin had tried spatial bending, but the area had been sealed. Even with the soul armor, he was unable to cross this mountain. As Wang Lin retreated, the monstrous sword energy closed in. It was extremely amazing, as if it was going to cut the earth in half with this strike. It instantly closed in. Wang Lin suddenly raised his head and his right hand punched toward the sword. When facing this kind of extreme sword shadow, spells were too complex. It was better to just throw a punch. A thunderous rumble echoed as the sword shadow trembled and collapsed. However, Wang Lin felt his right arm go numb, and the arm of the human-shaped armor cracked. The sword energy rushed into Wang Lin's body, and was about to launch a destructive attack when Wang Lin suppressed it by force. He charged toward the young man standing at the top of the mountain. The young man had a cold expression as he stared at Wang Lin. He was Void Cloud. As Wang Lin closed in, Void Cloud raised his sword and the second strike appeared. A monstrous sword shadow cut down on Wang Lin. This strike was 30% stronger than the previous one. Wang Lin let out a roar as he threw a punch with his right hand. Thunderous rumbles echoed and the second sword collapsed. The right arm of Wang Lin's earth element armor exploded, but after the second strike disappeared, Void Cloud released the third and fourth strikes. Two monstrous sword energy strikes shot toward Wang Lin. Thunderous rumbles echoed as Wang Lin charged forward. He was about 1,000 feet from Void Cloud, and his face was filled with killing intent. Void Cloud's face was slightly pale as he stared at Wang Lin. When Wang Lin closed in, he bit the tip of his tongue and spat out blood. This blood was golden and turned into sword shadows that shot toward Wang Lin. Immediately after, he raised his right hand and an ancient sword filled with a royal aura appeared. He grabbed it and jumped into the air. He released the final strike after the 9 sword shadows. When Wang Lin saw the ancient sword that gave off a royal aura, he immediately felt a trace of Grand Empyrean power from it. This sword was the same as his gold print. It was a treasure formed by a Grand Empyrean by condensing a spell. As the 9 sword shadows closed in, Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He was going to leave, and anyone who tried to block him would have to endure his anger. The armor on his right arm had collapsed, but he still had his left arm. His left arm formed a first and he threw 9 punches at the 9 sword shadows. Let's see whether your sword is sharper or my fist is harder. A thunderous rumble echoed across the mountains, forming a storm that swept the area. The 9 sword shadows collapsed and so did the armor on Wang Lin's left arm. However, he was above to move forward 1,000 feet and got within 200 feet of Void Cloud, who was about to release one last strike. A treasure condensed from a spell by a Grand Empyrean. I have one as well. Wang Lin didn't use Sundered Knight. Even with his cultivation level increased by the soul armor, he could not use it twice in a row. He had to save it for the critical moment. The battle with Void Cloud seemed difficult, but not enough for Wang Lin to use Sundered Knight. He had seen through the thoughts of Void Cloud and the 2 Green Devil messengers. This battle was purely to delay him. The moment Wang Lin's words echoed, his right hand reached at the void and a golden print appeared. After the golden print appeared, it collided with the ancient sword. A thunderous rumble echoed and Void Cloud coughed out blood. He looked weakened now. The sword in his hand shattered into countless fragments and he was knocked into the ground. A deep crack appeared on Wang Lin's gold print, but it didn't break. It became dim and Wang Lin put it away. When 2 treasures made by Grand Empyreans collided, the quality of the treasures and spells didn't matter. The main focus was the amount of faith power they had used to form the treasures. To be born from nothing was already a mysterious thing. It was obvious that the faith power in Void Cloud's sword was far below that of Wang Lin's gold print. After putting away the gold print, Wang Lin stood at the top of the mountain and coldly stared at Void Cloud, who landed not far away. Blood continued to leak out from Void Cloud's mouth. He looked at Wang Lin and he looked defeated. I lost. He didn't mention the fact that Wang Lin was wearing the Heavenly Bull soul armor, nor did he mention the Grand Empyrean treasure. A loss was a loss. But you also lost. Void Cloud struggled to stand up and looked at Wang Lin with a complicated expression. Your soul armor is almost out of time. Their self-destructions and my effort were to merely delay you here for a while. We didn't think or figure out you would actually leave through here. As Void Cloud spoke, Wang Lin charged toward the other side of the mountain. He didn't listen to his nonsense, and as he charged forward, he waved his right hand. A ray of bloodlight pierced through the eyebrows of the seriously injured Void Cloud. There was no miserable scream and there was no resistance. The blood sword penetrated Void Cloud's head and returned to Wang Lin. As for the dead Void Cloud, Wang Lin had no time to check if it was the original body or an avatar. He felt a sense of crisis growing, and this feeling was similar to when he first met Taoist water. What Wang Lin was looking at from the endless mountain range was an endless desert. This was the most common type of landscape for the Meng Earth continent. Almost 70% of the continent was like this. Rumor said that a long time ago, a foreign cultivator came here and was defeated by the celestial ancestor. The cultivator was sealed here, and he had a terrifying earth power, so after he was sealed here, this continent became like this. This person was rumored to be named Meng. So after countless years, this place was named Meng Earth Continent. This place was filled with the aura of the earth essence, similar to the Green Devil continent. The Green Devil continent was a continent of earth essence. The Green Devil scorpion was a fierce beast that lived in the earth. However, it was covered up by its devilish aura, making it difficult to notice. These rumors were recorded in detail in the tortoise shell given to Wang Lin. These thoughts appeared in his mind, but he didn't have time to think about them. He borrowed the speed of the soul armor to rush toward the Meng Earth continent. While he couldn't use spatial bending, he was getting closer and closer. The tens of thousands of kilometers of distance were crossed quickly by Wang Lin. He was only 1,000 kilometers away. The Meng Earth continent was in sight. But just at this moment, the world changed colors and blinding light came from 6 different locations before Wang Lin. Ripples echoed. These were signs of transfer arrays activating. The transfer arrays activated quickly. Just as Wang Lin looked over, dozens of figures appeared in each of the 6 transfer arrays. More than 100 figures appeared, and powerful auras spread out. The activation of these 6 transfer arrays cost the Green Devil continent a great price, especially since they were teleporting so many people. The higher the cultivation level, the greater the price. If it was a 3rd-step cultivator, the price was indescribable. And these hundreds of cultivators were all very powerful. Transferring them had depleted more than 100,000 years of savings from the Green Devil continent. These people were originally lying in ambush at various borders of the Heavenly Bull continent, waiting for Wang Lin. However, due to an error in their prediction, they had to forcibly teleport people here. This was only a portion of the people, and there were even more teleporting here. These cultivators all wore similar clothes. Although the colors were different, the black and white moon patterns on their clothes were all the same. Wang Lin had seen this pattern on the tortoise shell. This symbol belonged to the number 1 sect of the Green Devil continent, the Devil Dao sect. The blockades and chase targeting Wang Lin was not an effort by the entire Green Devil continent, just the Devil Dao sect. The Meng Earth continent was 1,000 kilometers away, but the Devil Dao sect had arrived to stop Wang Lin. The feeling that a crisis was approaching became even stronger. Wang Lin's pupils shrank. As he rushed forward, the more than 100 cultivators that had appeared from the 6 transfer arrays flew out. At the same time, they all threw something toward Wang Lin. 9 heads of cultivators from the extreme sky prairie. 6 heads of cultivators from the extreme sky prairie. Head of the rogue void turbulent cultivator from the extreme sky prairie. Extreme sky prairie. Those cold voices echoed through the world and entered Wang Lin's ears, causing his heart to tremble. He looked at the heads and their miserable expressions. He was familiar with them. They were the cultivators that had fought alongside him for several months at the 3rd meridian and survived. He didn't know their names, but he had remembered their faces. The hundreds of heads were almost half of the people that had survived the extreme sky prairie. Don't you like human heads? This is the first gift my Dao Devil sect is giving you. A poisonous voice echoed through the world. Devil Dao sect. If I leave this place today, I'll return and destroy your entire sect. Wang Lin's eyes revealed a monstrous red light, and he made this oath in his heart. This was the first time he felt such a strong desire to destroy a sect on the immortal astral continent. Sundered Night. Wang Lin suddenly turned around. He knew it would be extremely difficult to leave. The Devil Dao sect was willing to do everything to kill him. The surrounding cultivators and the heads that covered the earth were enough to explain everything. If he wanted to leave, he would have to give it his all. He had to be fast, or else more Devil Dao sect cultivators would arrive through the transfer array. At some point, Wang Lin would have no chance of leaving. The longer he stayed here, the lower his chance of survival. After saying these 2 words, the border to the Meng Earth continent was suddenly filled with the illusion of a sea, and was shrouded by the darkness of night. After Sundered Night appeared, Wang Lin used the strongest spell he could use as a cultivator. The sun rose and released the power to tear apart the night. No matter what cultivation level, the hundreds of Devil Dao sect cultivators let out a miserable screams under the force of Sundered Night. Their bodies collapsed and their origin souls were destroyed. There was also the 100 people coming through the transfer array. Before their bodies could condense, they died. After Sundered Night, the world changed colors. Aside from Wang Lin, there was no other living soul. His face was deathly pale and the soul armor was about to dissipate. He didn't hesitate to charge toward the Meng Earth continent 1,000 kilometers away. It wasn't that he didn't consider destroying the 7 transfer arrays, but these transfers arrays were abnormal. They had remained intact after Sundered Night, meaning he could now destroy them quickly. In a flash, Wang Lin crossed half of the 1,000-kilometer distance, but at this moment the 7 transfer arrays lit up. Even more powerful fluctuations came from the transfer array, and the third wave of 100 cultivators chased after Wang Lin. There were 4 mid-stage void turbulent and 4 late-stage void turbulent cultivators among these 100. The Devil Dao sect was bringing out almost all their power to hunt Wang Lin. They were using the force of an entire sect to kill a person. This kind of slaughter was related to private grudges, but that wouldn't be the only reason. No sect master or ancestor of the 9 sects and 13 factions would be so blind. Wang Lin's eyes were bloodshot. As the 100 of people chased after him, he knew it would be impossible to cross this 500-kilometer distance. Various spells and treasures from cultivators flew toward Wang Lin. As the 5 void turbulent cultivators closed in, Wang Lin raised his right hand and all the ancient Dao power inside him erupted. A giant ancient Dao shadow appeared behind him. This shadow was a bit blurry. It was apparent it had been damaged from the self-destruction of the 2 green devil messengers. However, it still gave people a sense of suppression from the bottom of their hearts. God Tremble Army Formation, Demon Spell, Wind and Fire Mountain, Devil Dao Life and Death Reverse. Wang Lin's right hand pushed forward. The 100 cultivators, aside from the late-stage void turbulent old monsters, all trembled and their flight paths became distorted. They all lined up like a mortal army before Wang Lin. This was the army formation. The power of God Tremble echoed like ripples, causing half of these cultivators to bleed from their orifices. Wang Lin's fist opened to a palm and smoke came out of the heads of the cultivators. The smoke condensed into a mountain above them. This mountain was made of smoke and smashed down. The palm turned into a point. Life and death changed as the cultivators let out miserable cries. Most of them collapsed, but the only late-stage void turbulent cultivator not restricted by this closed in on Wang Lin. At this moment, Wang Lin's ancient Dao No Celestials' full power erupted. God, Demon, Devil, Ancient Dao No Celestials. This ancient Dao No Celestials was casted after his cultivation level was increased to early-stage void turbulent by the soul armor. Its power was amazing, and although different from Sundered Night, the destructive power was the same. Thunderous rumbles rang out and a gray ripple echoed. The 100 cultivators all died. The expression of the late-stage void turbulent old monster changed and he quickly retreated. However, he still touched the gray ripples. The old man's face immediately turned white and his legs began to turn into stone. He touched his own body with his hands, and every time he did so, he sent in a burst of energy to resist the ancient Dao power invading his body. Aside from him, all the Devil Dao sect cultivators at the border of the Green Devil continent died. Blood flowed out from the corner of Wang Lin's mouth. He had used up all his ancient Dao power and the armor around him became weak. Parts of it had already turned into threads and it was about to dissipate. Wang Lin clenched his teeth and rushed forward. In a flash, 500 kilometers became 200 kilometers. However, just at this moment the 7 transfer arrays lit up once more. The 4th wave of cultivators appeared and chased after Wang Lin. War Spirit Print, 7-colored lance, Dark Moon Clear Sky, Flowing Time, Essences Condense. Wang Lin's eyes were red. He was going to cast all his spells before his soul armor dissipated to kill these Devil Dao cultivators. After the War Spirit Print was used, the huge 6-fingered palm print smashed down toward the 100 people. At the same time, the 3rd transformation, the 7-colored lance, flew forward. Dark Moon Clear Sky turned into a bloody moon. It began a corrosive slaughter with the reversal of time and the eruption of his essences. When Wang Lin casted all these spells, a thunderous bang echoed. The soul armor around Wang Lin turned into threads and gathered on the right side of his face. However, under Wang Lin's crazed attacks, almost all the cultivators from the 4th wave died. Only 3 survived, and they looked at Wang Lin with deep fear in their eyes. After the continuous attacks, 3 of the 7 transfer arrays finally collapsed. Wang Lin was knocked back and was only 100 kilometers from the Meng Earth continent. But not only did the feeling of the crisis not lessen, it became even stronger. The 4 remaining transfer arrays were no longer fixed, but a strange force shrouded them, allowing them to move in a way no cultivator could. In a flash, they appeared 50 kilometers away from Wang Lin. The moment they appeared, they released a blinding light and the 5th wave of 100 cultivators rushed out toward Wang Lin, filled with killing intent. The moment these cultivators appeared, the several void turbulent cultivators that had dodged Wang Lin's attack closed in. They circled Wang Lin, not giving him a chance to escape. Wang Lin's eyes were bloodshot. Only a small portion of his soul armor hadn't dissipated. His spells seemed to have been used up, but he still had a trick left. His fire essence true body appeared and suddenly spread out, and instantly shrouded the area. Ethereal fire burn! Wang Lin roared with his hoarse voice. The 100 cultivators here were filled with emotions, so they were the best fuel for ethereal fire. The ethereal fire began to burn the cultivators. Bursts of fire lit up and miserable screams echoed. Anyone who blocks me will die. Wang Lin bit his tongue to force his fatigue to disappear. With a roar he rushed forward. With a flash of blood-colored light, the blood sword appeared in his right hand. He waved his left hand and the vice-ghostly sail appeared. The sail turned into black fog which then turned into countless ghosts that rushed out before Wang Lin. This scene was simply shocking. The cultivators being burnt by ethereal fire were either killed by the fire or by Wang Lin's blood sword. The rest didn't dare to attack while facing Wang Lin's monstrous killing intent that would kill anything that got in his way. As Wang Lin charged forward, he was filled with killing intent and across the 100-kilometer distance. More and more of the 100 cultivators died as the rest retreated and looked at Wang Lin in terror. It wasn't that they hadn't met a powerful cultivator before, but someone as murderous and difficult to kill as Wang Lin was extremely rare. The price of killing Wang Lin would be even greater than opening the large transfer arrays. This price was likely a sect being wiped out, a heavy cost that would make the 9 sects and 13 factions into 8 sects and 13 factions. The moment Wang Lin stepped onto the Meng Earth continent, the rest of the soul armor on his body returned back to the heavenly bull tattoo on the right side of his face. A sense of weakness washed over his body, but he suppressed it again. There was still the human-shaped earth element armor on his body. Although half of it had collapsed, it still provided powerful protection. Standing on the Meng Earth continent, he staggered as blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth and he rushed away. He understood that as a rogue cultivator, he could cross between 2 continents. However, large amounts of Devil Dao sect disciples entering was very different. The Devil Dao sect must have considered this. Otherwise, they wouldn't have ordered 2 Green Devil messengers to self-destruct and Void Cloud to delay him to make sure he stayed in the Green Devil continent. If they didn't care, they could have just slaughtered their way into the Meng Earth continent to chase after him. As Wang Lin guessed, the cultivators of the Dao Devil sect stopped outside the Meng Earth continent. They hesitated and didn't continue to chase. But just at this moment, 4 of the transfer arrays shined once more. 3 of them brought dozens of cultivators, while the 4th transfer array only had 1 person. Sect Master! Greetings, Sect Master! When this man appeared, all the cultivators bowed. The person who walked out from the 4th transfer array was a middle-aged man. He was wearing a black and white Taoist robe. He was tall and gave off an abnormal aura. He was very handsome, but his lips were thin, which gave him a cold aura. This person was definitely harsh and merciless. He would never use up the power of an entire sect just to kill 1 person. The moment he walked out of the formation, the aura of a peak late-stage void turbulent cultivator spread out. The moment his aura spread out, the world changed colors. It was as if countless devil gods had appeared and started roaring. He was 1 step away from peak void turbulent. After he walked out, all the Devil Dao sect cultivators half knelt to the ground and lowered their heads. Only this man stood there and looked at Wang Lin, who was escaping deeper into the Meng Earth continent, with an indifferent gaze. Wang Lin's heart trembled. The moment the middle-aged man had walked out of the formation, the hidden sense of crisis he felt suddenly erupted. This life-or-death crisis came from the middle-aged man behind him, the Devil Dao sect master. Wang Lin didn't look back. He moved as fast as he could. He still couldn't use spatial bending, so he moved into the distance like a shadow. He could feel that he only needed to fly out a bit more and the force that sealed the world would disappear. Then he could merge with the world. However, the Devil Dao sect master was calm and didn't hesitate like the other Devil Dao cultivators. He stepped across the border and entered the Meng Earth continent. The moment he entered the Meng Earth continent, he floated in the air and looked at Wang Lin. He slowly raised his right hand and pointed at the sky. Devil Dao. These were the first 2 words he said. The moment his words echoed, the endless mountain range at the border of the 2 continents began to tremble violently. This trembling quickly spread, creating a thunderous rumble. As the rumble echoed, the dragon-like mountain range was pulled by an invisible force. At the edge of the left side of the mountain range, the force gathered to form a giant figure. This figure was that of a white-haired old man wearing a white robe. He had the air of a celestial. He had a kind smile as he waved his sleeve at the mountain range. At the same time, at the other end of the mountain range, another giant shadow appeared. This was a devilish shadow covered in devilish energy. It was a cold-looking young man wearing a black robe. He gave off a defying aura filled with bloodthirst and killing intent. When he appeared, he pointed at the mountain range below. This scene shocked all the Devil Dao sect cultivators. They looked at their sect master with feverish gazes. Under the spells of the celestial-looking old man in the Taoist robe and the devilish young man in the black robe, the endless mountain range rumbled. The mountain range that was tens of thousands of kilometers wide was uprooted from the earth. The world rumbled as the mountain rose into the air. From afar, it looked like a dragon had risen into the sky. With a point from the Devil Dao sect master, there was a deafening howl and the tens of thousands of kilometers mountain range flew toward the Meng Earth continent. Its speed could not be imagined, and it flew past Wang Lin in the blink of an eye. Wang Lin was startled for a moment. He saw the mountain range fly over him and land 2,000 kilometers away, in the desert of the Meng Earth continent. If this mountain range was the boundary between the 2 continents, then Wang Lin was still in the Green Devil continent. The feeling of life or death increased like crazy until it formed a giant shadow that shrouded Wang Lin's heart. This way, you are still in the Green Devil continent. The Devil Dao sect master calmly said the second sentence since he came here. At the same time, he stepped forward and appeared less than 1,000 feet away from Wang Lin in a flash. Wang Lin gritted his teeth and rushed forward. He knew it would be very difficult for him to escape, but it was impossible for him to simply give up. Don't be afraid, I will not kill you. I have great use for you. The Devil Dao sect master's eyes revealed a strange light. There was a hint of contempt in them, as if he was looking at an ant. He waved his sleeve at Wang Lin. He was simply too powerful. At this moment, Wang Lin's soul armor had dissipated and his cultivation level had returned back to late-stage spirit void. After using so many spells, Wang Lin was like an empty oil lamp. The difference between their cultivation levels was simply too great. With that wave, Wang Lin revealed a decisive gaze and closed his eyes to connect to his avatar in the void. The moment the Devil Dao sect master waved his sleeve, an extra aura appeared around Wang Lin's body. His eyes turned golden and he waved his hand back. The world rumbled and Wang Lin's body trembled violently. He coughed out blood and was knocked back as he rushed toward the mountain range. This person was too strong. Even if Wang Lin could borrow power from the avatar, he would still be no match for this person. The collision just now had caused him to become seriously injured and he was going to pass out. He bit his tongue to force himself to stay awake. The Devil Dao sect master exclaimed softly. His eyes revealed a strange light as he looked at the escaping Wang Lin and shook his head. It indeed is the destined person. At this point he could still resist an attack from me. Very well. In this case, let me show you the true power of the Devil Dao sect's handprint. Don't you know it as well? The middle-aged man raised his right hand and pushed at the sky. The sky seemed to collapse and fish scale-like ripples appeared. In a flash, the celestial-like old man in the white Taoist robe appeared. He stood in the air like he was looking down upon all life, and his gaze fell on the escaping Wang Lin. He rushed down from the sky toward Wang Lin. As the figure rushed out, he turned into a giant white palm print. This palm print didn't have 5 fingers but 7. On the other side of the celestial-like old man was a devilish-looking youth in a black robe. He stepped out with a cold snort and turned into a giant, black seven-finger palm print that smashed down on Wang Lin. From afar it looked like the world had turned into a painting. The black and white palm prints fell from the sky toward Wang Lin. Soon, the two prints fused 10,000 feet above Wang Lin to form a black and white celestial devil palm print. When this palm print appeared, the world seemed to turn upside down and everything turned into a blur. Wang Lin stopped running and looked up at the giant celestial devil palm print descending. He silently pondered. There was no despair or sorrow within him. He was calm with a trace of regret. Wang Lin understood that he could not avoid this calamity. He regretted that he hadn't revived Li Muwen, and that he hadn't found his friends on the immortal astral continent. With a sigh, Wang Lin closed his eyes. When he closed his eyes, he didn't give up struggling but called the heaven-defying bead that was in his soul that he hadn't used in a long time. Heaven-defying bead. The palm print instantly closed in on Wang Lin. At this moment, the Devil Dao sect master suddenly felt his heart skip a beat, and an indescribable sense of shock emerged in his mind. Without hesitation, he waved his right hand. A sound wave spread out in all directions. The palm print grabbed Wang Lin but didn't kill him. With the wave from the Devil Dao sect master, the palm firmly buried Wang Lin at its center. After doing all of this, the Devil Dao sect master flew into the air and fused with the palm print. He then flew into the depths of the Green Devil continent. The cultivators of the Devil Dao sect followed their sect master into the distance. After everyone left, the mountain range in the distance slowly retreated back to its original position. The Meng Earth continent didn't respond, as if they had already reached an agreement. Rays of light filled the sky. The Devil Dao sect master looked calm, but he had doubts in his heart. At that moment he had a feeling that if he had tried to kill Wang Lin, he would have caused a major disaster. This kind of feeling was extremely rare for him, so he couldn't ignore it. This person is the destined person, so he must have some secret methods. He is very cunning. If we had gone with the original plan, we wouldn't have had to pay such a price. While pondering, the Devil Dao sect master moved faster and faster toward the center of the Green Devil continent. The location of the Green Devil Scorpion Temple. Suppress this person in the Green Devil Scorpion Temple. Use his body to nourish the Green Devil, and use his soul to revive the Green Devil. Several months later, at the center of the Green Devil continent, this place was a large green swamp, and large amounts of bubbles formed over the swamp, giving off the smell of decay. This place was covered in a green fog that came from the bubbles and had gathered for countless years. In this swamp that covered tens of thousands of kilometers, there was a towering building. It was obvious at first glance that this building was a giant scorpion. The scorpion was hundreds of thousands of feet large. It lied on the swamp and looked very lifelike. It released powerful devilish energy, causing most cultivators to be unable to get close. The devilish energy would enter their bodies and cause them to go crazy. Aside from the sect master, all the cultivators of the Devil Dao sect returned to the sect. Only the sect master arrived outside the Green Devil Scorpion Temple with Wang Lin. Only with his cultivation level, he would not be affected by the devilish energy here. At this moment, the sect master appeared next to the huge scorpion building. After he appeared, a weak cough came from below the giant scorpion. This cough was weak, but in this silent environment it was extremely clear. As the cough slowly approached, 3 figures slowly walked out from the mouth of the scorpion. Among the 3 figures, the 2 in the back wore green Dao robes. They both had the mark of a scorpion on their robes. The 2 of them looked only middle-aged but gave off the aura of mid-stage void turbulent cultivators. Their expressions were cold, as if they had no emotions. The 2 of them were like guards guarding a figure covered completely in a green robe. This figure looked extremely old, and as the figure walked out, it coughed. The old figure that was coughing stopped and asked with a hoarse voice, "Did you bring the person back?" The Devil Dao sect master was very polite to the old man hidden in the green robe. He clasped his hands and nodded. "I have brought him here. Take a look, GC." After he spoke, he waved his right hand and a figure covered in black and white appeared. Wang Lin's eyes were closed as he sat there motionlessly. Very good. He should be very good at suppressing the luck of the Green Devil continent and satisfying Lord Green Devil. The old man looked up. Although his face couldn't be seen, his demonic eyes inside the green robe looked at Wang Lin with satisfaction. The Devil Dao sect master slowly said, "In order to capture him, my Devil Dao sect paid a great price. Once Lord Green Devil has been resurrected, you will have the reward you were promised. But to suppress this person, I'll need your Grand Devil Dao law. You know what to do: erase his origin soul, destroy his mind and memory." The old man's voice was hoarse and he looked at Wang Lin excitedly. This person's will is extremely strong. It won't be easy to destroy his mind and memory. The Devil Dao sect master smiled and didn't immediately start. Cough. In the future, the Green Devil continent will only have one sect, the Devil Dao sect. The old man covered in the green robe coughed violently for a long time before he spoke. Good. Since GC has given his word, I'll use my full strength and use the Grand Devil Dao law to plant the seed of Devil Dao transformation. Let him destroy his own mind. The Devil Dao sect master laughed and no longer hesitated. His right hand pierced the light and pointed to the spot between Wang Lin's eyebrows. He grabbed the black and white light that was wrapped around Wang Lin and threw it into the huge scorpion building. Wang Lin was suddenly thrown toward the scorpion, creating a howl as he flew. When he landed, a giant vortex appeared on the back of the scorpion and sucked him in. He has many essences in his body. There are a total of 8, and one of them has formed an essence true body. Among the 8, one of them is the same as mine, which is the thunder essence. I'll use this thunder essence as the link to destroy his mind and memory. The Devil Dao sect master sat down. He closed his eyes and remained motionless. The green-robed old man at the mouth of the scorpion turned and walked inside. The cough slowly faded and the 2 green devil messenger-like guards didn't speak at all as they disappeared into the scorpion. In the deepest part of the scorpion was a void filled with endless green lights. Each green light was a large number of green scorpion souls. They gathered in this space and constantly howled. Wang Lin was sitting inside this space and remained motionless. However, countless green scorpions gathered around him and covered most of his body. His body didn't move, but there were flashes of thunder in his right eye. An essence was moving through his body like crazy. It was his thunder essence. This thunder essence moved around, causing popping sounds to come from his body. Arcs of thunder would spread out across his body. At this moment, Wang Lin was in a coma. His mind and soul were silent with no sign of movement. However, what outsiders couldn't see, not even GC or the Devil Dao sect master, was that a bead was slowly rotating in Wang Lin's soul. Every time it turned once, Wang Lin's soul, mind and memories would tremble a bit, while being protected by a layer of soft light. At this moment, it was as if he was separated from his body. In his strange state, his thunder essence became even more powerful and soon overpowered the rest of his essences. Although it was still a bit inferior to the fire essence that had formed an essence true body, it was getting closer and closer in power. It was as if an invisible passage had been created between Wang Lin's body and the sect master's body. It was slowly fusing with his thunder essence that hadn't formed an essence true body yet. Time slowly passed. In a flash, several months went by. During these months, Wang Lin's thunder essence had become even stronger and thunderous rumbles were echoing in his body. He continued to absorb the Devil Dao sect master's thunder essence that contained its own will. In these few months of time, the Devil Dao sect master, who was sitting outside, frowned. He didn't expect Wang Lin's thunder essence to absorb so much of his thunder essence and still not form its own will. His original plan was that in just 1 month of time, his thunder essence would completely replace Wang Lin's thunder essence. Because his thunder essence contained his will, he could use this method to perfectly erase Wang Lin's divine sense and memories according to GC's request. If not for GC's request, he would have used one of the countless other methods to erase Wang Lin's mind. However, those methods were too rough and could leave damage. Even the smallest bit of damage could affect the resurrection of the Green Devil Scorpion in the future. On a day in the 4th month, the Devil Dao sect master would not bear it anymore and said, "GC, I need your help. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to do what you requested." He felt helpless because even though almost all his thunder essence had entered Wang Lin's body, it still couldn't replace Wang Lin's essence to form its own will. This was very strange. It was as if there was a vortex in Wang Lin's body that was absorbing his will. The truth was just as he suspected. Every time the heaven-defying bead turned, aside from protecting Wang Lin, it would also absorb a bit of the foreign entities in Wang Lin's body. "I'm here." Cough. An ancient voice and hoarse voice came from the scorpion. Before it could finish speaking, there was a violent coughing fit that lasted for a long time before the voice continued. "I have 2 Thunder Emperor beads I got from the Thunder Emperor continent. I originally planned to give them to the Lord once he awakened. I'll give you one." As the voice echoed, there was a bolt of gray lightning. The scorpion shined and a ray of light flew toward the Devil Dao sect master. It instantly closed in and turned into a fist-sized bead. This bead was filled with countless bolts of thunder, and there was the shadow of a chariot inside. There was also the vague figure of a person on the chariot who looked like the Emperor of Thunder. With the Devil Dao sect master's cultivation level and knowledge, he felt his heart skip a beat. His eyes revealed a strange light and he struggled for a moment before he gave up on the idea. This was a gift for the green scorpion after it revived, so he wouldn't dare to take it. If not for the need to wipe out Wang Lin's divine sense and memory, GC would have never taken it out. The Devil Dao sect master no longer hesitated. He opened his mouth and inhaled. The countless threads of thunder flew into his mouth and were devoured by him. Before he could keep any, all of them were sucked into Wang Lin's body by the Grand Devil Dao Law. Deep inside the scorpion in the green space, Wang Lin's body trembled violently. The thunder essence in his body suddenly powered up greatly and showed signs of forming a thunder essence true body. Wang Lin's thunder essence became even more powerful as he continued to absorb. Due to the heaven-defying bead, the Devil Dao sect and Appos, sect master was unable to condense his will and erase Wang Lin's mind. However, at this moment, after the Devil Dao sect and Appos, sect master devoured the Thunder Emperor bead, the endless thunder essence that entered his body was absorbed by Wang Lin's body like crazy. Wang Lin's body trembled violently and his long hair moved without any wind. Countless arcs of thunder moved around his body and gave off endless thunder might. This thunder might was heaven-shattering so much so that even this green space trembled. The green light gathered to form a large amount of green scorpions around Wang Lin, and they roared silently. However, as this incredibly powerful thunder essence entered Wang Lin's body and was about to condense the Devil Dao sect and Appos, sect master's will, the heaven-defying bead slowly turned. It sucked away some of the will. It was like a fountain that was about to overflow with water suddenly stopped. Then a balance was reached and the water began to slowly recede. How can this be? Outside the Scorpion building, the Devil Dao sect and Appos, sect master in the fog suddenly opened his eyes and revealed a look of disbelief. He could not see the heaven-defying bead inside Wang Lin's body. To him, Wang Lin's body was normal and he had no idea where his lost will had gone. He wasn't the only one who noticed that something was wrong. Inside the Scorpion Temple, the old man named GC also frowned. After muttering a bit, he coughed and waved his sleeve. Another bolt of thunder flew out from the Scorpion building and turned into the same Thunder Emperor bead. It then flew toward the Devil Dao sect and Appos, sect master. The old and hoarse voice came out and was mixed with coughing. The last Thunder Emperor bead. Even the Thunder Emperor continent has less than 3 remaining. If you still can't succeed, then all the promises from before will be void. The Devil Dao sect and Apos sect master was extremely gloomy. He didn't think it would be this difficult. He stared at the Thunder Emperor bead and the veins on his face bulged. He then opened his mouth and inhaled. The thunder rushed into his mouth. The moment he devoured the bead, the Devil Dao sect and Apos sect master formed a seal and pressed it against his eyebrows. He let out a roar at the sky. Thunder essence scatter. With a roar, all the thunder essence in his body was released by him without any hesitation, and all of it rushed into Wang Lin. This thunder contained all of his will, so he had to succeed this time. The thunder essence also contained a powerful surge of thunder from the second Thunder Emperor bead. It pushed the Devil Dao sect and Apos sect masters will toward Wang Lin rapidly. As the indescribable thunder essence rushed forward, Wang Lin's body inside the green space trembled once more. Even more thunder arched around his body and suddenly expanded to more than 1,000 feet in radius. The area 1,000 feet around Wang Lin became a thunder hell. The thunder moved and shined brightly. Wang Lin's head rose outside of his control and the thunder mark in his right eye flashed 9 times before it flew out. The thunder mark rushed out and turned into a giant thunder mark 1,000 feet above Wang Lin. The moment it appeared, it began absorbing the surrounding thunder like crazy. As the thunder fused with the mark, a human-shaped outline appeared around the thunder mark. This was the outline of an essence true body. Although it hadn't formed yet, judging by its current state, it wouldn't take long before it turned into an essence true body. In a flash, all the thunder around here was absorbed, and then even more thunder erupted from Wang Lin's body. Thunder came out of every pore in Wang Lin's body. It wasn't just one strand of thunder from each of the 108,000 pores, but at least 10 strands of thunder. This was a large amount of thunder enough to shake the world. The thunder occupied every corner of this space and almost replaced the green light, turning this space into a thunder space. This large amount of thunder rushed into the human outline in the thunder mark. The rumble was so loud that it could be heard clearly outside the Scorpion Temple. The fusion of all this thunder caused part of the Green Devil continent to tremble. The human-shaped outline continued to absorb thunder and grew rapidly. Inside the outline, bones made of thunder began to form. Each bone was formed by countless strands of thunder tightly arranged together. In a flash, a full skeleton had appeared. Shortly after, as large amounts of thunder entered, fine lines appeared, forming the nerves, flesh, and blood. When the last strand of thunder was absorbed, what floated above the unconscious Wang Lin was another Wang Lin. Its eyes were closed and it was surrounded by thunder. It was born from thunder, and just by standing there, it would make all thunder in the world yield. Thunder Essence True Body. The Thunder Essence True Body Wang Lin dreamed of was born in such a way. However, this Essence True Body didn't belong to Wang Lin. Instead, it belonged to the Devil Dao sect and Apos sect master. Because this Thunder Essence True Body contained the will of the Devil Dao sect and Apos sect master. Outside the Scorpion building, the Devil Dao sect and Apos sect master was struggling. He sensed the existence of the Thunder Essence True Body and was shocked. He had underestimated Wang Lin again. He didn't think that Wang Lin's comprehension of this essence would be so deep that after forming the Fire Essence True Body, he would have the potential to give birth to a second Essence True Body. At this moment, the Devil Dao sect and Apos sect master was in a dilemma. He longed for the Thunder Essence True Body, but if he took it, he couldn't fulfill GC's request. While he struggled, a cough came from the Scorpion building. When the Devil Dao sect and Apos sect master heard this, he revealed a decisive gaze. Compared to the benefits promised by the Green Devil Scorpion once it revives, although the Thunder Essence True Body is precious, it isn't impossible to give up. The Devil Dao sect and Apos sect master's hands quickly formed seals and he pointed to the spot between his eyebrows. He closed his eyes and focused his attention on the Thunder Essence True Body above Wang Lin in the green space inside the Scorpion. The Thunder Essence True Body trembled. With its eyes closed, it raised its right hand and pressed down on Wang Lin below. The moment the hand pressed down, Wang Lin's body trembled. The last 7 strands of Thunder Essence flew out from the orifices of Wang Lin's raised head. They came out of the eyes, ears, nose, and mouth, and the thunder went into the matching orifices on the thunder essence true body one by one. The moment those 7 strands went into the thunder essence true body, it opened its eyes. It revealed a gloomy gaze and was filled with the aura of the Devil Dao sect and Appos, sect master. Its body trembled and the thunder of the world trembled with it. Outside the scorpion, outside the temple, large amounts of shocking thunder appeared over most of the Green Devil continent. Thunderous rumbles rang out loudly and rushed toward the scorpion temple at the center at an unimaginable speed. The speed of this thunder was indescribable, and faster than any thunder. It was like spatial bending. It all rushed into the green space inside the scorpion at the scorpion temple. In an instant, the thunder essence true body was surrounded by this surge of thunder, forming a suit of armor. It also formed a crown on its head. This was the crown of the Thunder Emperor. The moment the crown formed, the endless thunder that was gathering condensed to form a thunder war chariot. It was at this moment that the thunder essence true body was completely formed. Wang Lin's body, which was sitting below, violently trembled. The heaven-defying bead was not hidden but was activated, protecting his origin soul. His awakening was due to that tremble in his heart. The moment Wang Lin awakened, he opened his eyes and saw the thunder essence true body that had formed in the sky. When Wang Lin saw the thunder essence true body, he trembled for a moment. He was still in a daze, but he soon understood everything. He was startled because of the shocking scene that was revealed when he used the Soul I Dao for the first time in the Great Soul Sect. That scene was exactly the same as what he was seeing now. Back then Wang Lin saw that his own thunder essence true body was going to use thunder to suppress him. He didn't understand how his essence true body could possibly do this. After all, the thunder essence body was formed by him and completely belonged to him. What he had seen was impossible, yet it had come true. The thunder essence true body coldly looked at Wang Lin, and a thunderous rumble echoed inside the space. It suddenly moved and waved its hand at Wang Lin. Endless thunder shot toward Wang Lin and rapidly suppressed him. Wang Lin sat there and looked up at his essence true body ruthlessly suppressing him. His expression was gloomy, and now that he had awakened, the image of the Devil Dao sect and Appos, sect master appeared in his mind. In particular the formation of the thunder essence true body, and this sudden change must be related to the Devil Dao sect and Appos, sect master. Wang Lin even vaguely felt his aura coming from the essence true body. He captured me. Not to kill or injure me, but to take over my thunder essence and help me form my thunder essence true body. His purpose is not to suppress me, but to use the essence true body to cause my mind to become chaotic and wipe away my mind. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. In a short period of time, thousands of thoughts appeared in his mind. He had divinated this scene back then, and it shocked him greatly. In order to not be caught off guard, he had already thought of how to deal with it back then. Almost at the same moment the thunder essence true body came to suppress him, Wang Lin took a deep breath. His origin soul closed its eyes and called for the heaven-defying bead. The heaven-defying bead in his soul suddenly began to move. Wang Lin's origin soul, memories, and everything began to shrink when the thunder arrived. He retreated temporarily to let the thunder essence true body take over his body. Once the thunder essence true body had fully integrated into his body, his chance to strike back would come. This was the only method Wang Lin had thought of to resist it when he saw this unbelievable scene. Thunder rumbled inside this green space and countless bolts of thunder spread out from the essence true body. As it closed in, it disintegrated into countless bolts of thunder and entered Wang Lin's body. Under the will of the Devil Dao sect and Appos, sect master, it swept through Wang Lin to erase his mind and everything. Time slowly passed and 1 month went by in a flash. The thunder around Wang Lin gradually disappeared until none remained. He sat there motionless, without any fluctuation of soul or cultivation. Even his vitality seemed almost extinguished. He was like the living dead. A powerful divine sense swept through Wang Lin and then slowly left. At the same time the Devil Dao sect and Appos, sect master outside the Scorpion building opened his tired eyes. He looked at the temple and his words slowly echoed. After the Devil Dao sect and Appos, sect master spoke, a cough came from the green space. The old man wearing the green robe used some unknown method to appear in the green space. Behind him, the two green devil messengers followed him closely to guard him. He looked at Wang Lin and revealed a satisfied smile. He then raised his right hand from under his robe and pressed it between Wang Lin's eyebrows. His right arm was extremely terrifying and was covered in green hair. It was a shocking sight and didn't look like a human arm. The moment his right hand pressed down on Wang Lin, a sliver of fluctuations came from Wang Lin's mind that was protected by the heaven-defying bead. However, under the protection of the heaven-defying bead, an outsider couldn't detect it. The Devil Dao sect and Appos sect master hasn't left. This is not the time to resist. Let's wait a bit more. The fluctuations in Wang Lin's heart slowly calmed down. After a long time, the arm rose from Wang Lin's head, and shortly after, a hoarse voice came from the old man in green. You can leave. After Lord Green Devil revives, you will have what was promised to you. Outside the Scorpion building, the Devil Dao sect and Appos sect master's eyes revealed a strange light. He took one final glance at the temple before he disappeared from this place. Only after the Devil Dao sect and Appos sect master was gone did the old man in the green robe look at Wang Lin with excitement in his eyes. This old man's family has waited for a long time. Generations of mortals have become GC for countless years until a body that came from outside this world appeared. Just like Lord Green Devil. Only this kind of body can be possessed by the Lord Green Devil to allow him to revive. However, the Devil Dao sect and Appos sect masters will needs to be erased from the Thunder Essence true body. The old man muttered to himself as he looked at Wang Lin excitedly. His voice echoed inside the green space, revealing a hint of strangeness and madness. Wang Lin's mind was still hidden under the heaven-defying bead's protection. He had a feeling that the current crisis was not a life-or-death struggle, but a great fortune that made his heart skip a beat. The old man in the green robe trembled. His family had waited countless years and many generations for this day. He took a deep breath and bit the tip of his finger. A drop of green blood flew out and landed between Wang Lin's eyebrows. The moment the drop of green blood landed between Wang Lin's eyebrows, a green ripple echoed. The ripple spread out and the the Devil Dao sect master deliberately or accidentally disappeared completely. The essence true body formed by thunder no longer had the will of anyone else. Wang Lin only needed to move his will inside to occupy it. However, for an even greater fortune, he endured this temptation. After a long time, the green-robed old man's eyes revealed a spark of wisdom. He didn't have to say these words before Wang Lin. This was all his test. The fact that he had obtained the title of GC of the Green Scorpion Temple, with the body of a mortal meant that he was very intelligent. He would not casually believe what he saw, and he would question everything. He first used his words, then he erased the Devil Dao sect and Appos sect master's will from the Thunder Essence true body. He was tempting Wang Lin to see if Wang Lin's mind was completely erased. After waiting for a long time, the Thunder Essence body still hadn't lured Wang Lin out. Only then did the old man relax a bit and felt assured. He couldn't detect the heaven-defying bead or Wang Lin, but he still murmured to himself, "This body is very good. The next step is for Lord Green Devil's possession." As he spoke, his eyes squinted and he slowly retreated. When he was hundreds of feet away, he suddenly roared with a hoarse voice, "Green Devil guards, kill him. His mind is still there. Open the Green Devil formation. We can't allow him to escape." After he spoke, he quickly retreated, but his eyes revealed a strange light as he stared at Wang Lin. As he roared, the Green Devil messengers beside him revealed ferocious gazes and charged at Wang Lin from the left and right. As they closed in, their hands formed seals and their mid-stage void turbulent cultivation erupted. Two giant green scorpions appeared. They hissed and roared as they rushed toward Wang Lin. This didn't look like a test at all. It seemed like they were really going to kill Wang Lin. At this moment, Wang Lin's only choice was to spread out his mind into the Thunder Essence true body, leave his will on it, and activate the Heavenly Bull soul armor to kill the three of them before quickly fleeing this place. The old man in the green robe's words were very sudden, and if it was anyone else, they would have done this. However, Wang Lin's heart moved for a moment and suddenly calmed down. He was like an ancient well. His heart wasn't disturbed at all. He absolutely didn't believe the other party could detect the heaven-defying bead. This was a battle of wits. All of this happened in a flash. The spells from the Green Devil messengers closed in on Wang Lin and were less than 7 inches away, but Wang Lin's body didn't move. 6 inches, 5 inches, 3 inches, 1 inch. A powerful life and death crisis appeared in Wang Lin's heart. Even with his determination, he was shaken, but he still remained motionless. With a thunderous bang, the 2 spells from the 2 messengers landed on Wang Lin's body. However, when their attacks landed, a layer of green light rippled and knocked the 2 of them back. This green ripple was formed by the fresh blood GC had squeezed out. His blood scattered the Devil Dao sect and Appo's sect master's will and seemed to have disappeared, but it was actually an ace he had left to test Wang Lin. Only at this moment did the green-robed old man relax completely and began to laugh loudly. However, as he laughed, he began to cough violently. There is no problem now. This body no longer has a consciousness and mind, but it is still too weak. It still needs to be cultivated a bit before it can bear the descent of Lord Green Devil. Though he has 8 essences, he doesn't have earth. Lord Green Devil's essence is earth. I need to add it. This body has 8 essences, and with the earth essence it will be 9. 9 essences together will make this an essence body. A perfect match for the arrival of Lord Green Devil. Once Lord Green Devil revives and possesses this body, I'll have completed my family's mission. I will then be able to return to the central continent and bring fortune to the future of my family. This matter is too important, so I need to prepare a bit more. The old man coughed and slowly left. The moment the old man in green and the 2 Green Devil messengers left, Wang Lin's body remained motionless in the green space. Countless specks of green light flashed constantly. Every strand of light had the shadow of a green scorpion, and they filled up this green space. Time slowly passed. In a flash, 3 months went by. During these 3 months, Wang Lin sat still. There was no movement or vitality at all coming from him. His body was covered in green light, and if you looked closely, you would see countless green scorpions spreading across his body. During this 3-month period, Wang Lin's origin soul had slowly waited while being protected by the heaven-defying bead. He had enough patience for what he felt was a great fortune. The green-robed old man was extremely suspicious. Wang Lin didn't believe the old man would easily believe that he was already gone. What awaited Wang Lin was likely several more tests until the old man felt certain enough to give Wang Lin the great fortune. Although Wang Lin couldn't guess what kinds of tests he would have to overcome in the future, he was prepared. He calmly waited under the protection of the heaven-defying bead. To not change in a form of change, this was Wang Lin's plan. He allowed the green scorpions to cover his body. Some had even entered his mouth and nose, but he did nothing. Time unknowingly began to pass once more. 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. Soon Wang Lin spent 1 year inside the green space after the old man in green left. After reaching his current cultivation level, his body wouldn't decay for tens of thousands of years. His body didn't change during this year, but even more green scorpions had covered his body. Inside this green space, the scorpions already considered Wang Lin as part of them. This place was like a dungeon, and it gave off a gloomy aura. At this moment, if anyone else saw the scene inside the screen space, they would be shocked. Wang Lin no longer existed. The only thing that remained was a human-shaped mound. Wang Lin's origin soul remained as calm as an ancient well, and didn't reveal any fluctuations inside the heaven-defying bead. During this year of time, the green-robed old man didn't appear again, as if he had forgotten Wang Lin. There was not a trace of anyone in the Scorpion building. A strange aura was born in this silence. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. On this day, the 4th year slowly arrived. In the green space inside the Scorpion building, Wang Lin's origin soul struggled. He had waited here for 4 years. During these 4 years, the green-robed old man didn't appear at all. His body underwent a strange change due to the green scorpions that were covering his body. This change was the root of his struggle. Egg-like green lights appeared in his 108,000 pores. These lights had appeared 2 years ago, and after they broke open, they absorbed Wang Lin's flesh and blood to form young scorpions. The scorpions were using Wang Lin's body as a nesting ground and a source of nutrients. After 4 years, the number of scorpions occupying this space had almost doubled. Not only did they cover Wang Lin, but they also covered most of the ground. It was a shocking sight. The appearance of the young scorpions caused wrinkles to appear on Wang Lin's body. His body gradually withered as it was used as nutrients for the scorpions. Taking note of this development, Wang Lin had a strong feeling that if he didn't take control of his body and leave soon, he would never be able to leave. He also understood why the green-robed old man hadn't appeared and hadn't put him through any more tests. It was because time was the best test. There was no better tool than time to see through something and find the truth. Wang Lin guessed that the old man was using time to begin a very cruel test on Wang Lin. Only when this test satisfied him would he complete his original plan. Wang Lin didn't know what the consequences would be if the result of this test was not satisfactory. If there was no problem and his body didn't wither, Wang Lin could wait 10 years, 1,000 years. If he really wanted to wait, then with his decisiveness and determination he could endure it. However, right now the withering of his body made Wang Lin struggle. His firm belief was shaken because everything was just his speculation. He had no real clues to prove any of this. If his speculation was wrong and he didn't leave now, his body would wither completely and he would miss the real opportunity. He would forever remain here. Similarly, if his judgment was wrong, he would lose a great fortune. This was a choice that made Wang Lin struggle. This struggle lasted for a year. On the 5th year, the struggle disappeared. Wang Lin decisively cut off all other thoughts. With a crazed belief in his own speculation, he calmly waited. The 6th year, the 7th year, the 8th year. The withering on his body spread to most of his body, but his mind still didn't move. The 9th year, the 10th year. His body was surrounded by large amounts of scorpions, and it looked like a bag of bones without any nutrients. It looked like his body would collapse from a gentle breeze, but Wang Lin was still waiting. 10 years. He had waited inside the green space for 10 years. For the past 10 years he had no idea what had happened outside. Whether the battle between the Green Devil continent and the Heavenly Bull continent was still ongoing, or if it had ended. During these 10 years, Wang Lin's origin soul didn't control his body. It remained hidden under the protection of the heaven-defying bead. He was using his great endurance to gamble. What supported his belief was his judgment and analysis. That green-robed old man was obviously immortal, but Wang Lin felt a sense of terror from him. That old man could make the Devil Dao sect master act politely, so if Wang Lin made a reckless move, he would face great danger. There were too many secrets he didn't know about inside the Green Scorpion Temple. Most importantly, because the green-robed old man was immortal, his lifespan couldn't be too long. The competition this time was each other's patience. But this was under the premise that Wang Lin's speculation was correct. At this moment he didn't know that there was a cave inside the giant scorpion building, at the head. Inside sat the old man in green, who looked at a green mirror before him. The mirror reflected everything inside the green space where Wang Lin was. During these 10 years of time, Wang Lin wasn't the only one waiting. The old man in green had also been waiting. His lifespan was limited. Although there was a secret spell to make him live longer, every generation of GC only lived for 3,000 years at most. He was more than 2,800 years old. He was very close to death. Time is the best method to see the truth. Even though what I'm doing is a little redundant, I must do this for the safety of Lord Green Devil. I want to see if he really lost his mind, or if he is pretending. He didn't lack patience. He had lived in this scorpion building for more than 2,000 years, and had grown accustomed to the flow of time. It had become second nature to him. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. The second decade passed as the two waited for each other. This was an extremely cruel battle, far more cruel than ordinary fights between cultivators, because they were fighting with time. This battle of time was silent, without any trace of conflict, but it was filled with danger. The family of the old man in green had prepared for countless years for this. They couldn't afford to lose. Wang Lin also couldn't afford to lose. Right now, even his bones had begun to weaken. If his body wasn't that of an ancient Dao, it would have become completely wasted several years ago. This green space was mostly covered by green scorpions now, and they emitted green light as they moved. During these 20 years of time, Wang Lin's mind hadn't moved at all. He was immersed in the belief of his own faith. It was a rare big gamble in his life. I'll never lose. This sentence had supported Wang Lin for nearly 20 years. Time sometimes could be very slow, but it was often like the autumn leaves falling from the sky. It may feel like a change in season, but in truth it was only a short journey. In a flash, another 20 years passed. Wang Lin rarely stayed in one place for 40 years. He had also given up on his body, and his origin soul acted like it was dead. Even his ancient Tao body showed signs of complete death after 40 years. The old man in green was still waiting. In the last 40 years, aside from his daily needs, he spent all his time looking at the mirror and silently waiting. 40 years, 40 years. After Wang Lin got used to it, a total of 80 years had passed. On this day in the 80th year, the old man in the green robe revealed a hint of hesitation. He didn't believe anyone who was conscious could endure it for 80 years. And the most important thing was that he didn't have much lifespan left. The choice before him was the same as what Wang Lin had faced back then: to wait or not to wait. He decided to wait. He still had nearly 60 years of life left. He didn't want to give all the tributes his family had prepared over the generations into someone else's dowry. 80 years of time was enough for a person's entire life. For Wang Lin, he spent these 80 years in the Green Scorpion Temple. During these 80 years, he could not absorb any energy and could not cultivate. He could only wait under the protection of the heaven-defying bead. As he silently waited, he seemed to become like an old man. A lot of things and memories seemed to become blurry. It was as if there was a layer of fog that made it so he couldn't see clearly, or it might be more accurate to say that his memories were sealed. He forgot a lot of things, whether it was the heavenly bull continent or the cave world. He even slowly forgot the danger he was in. He was in an indescribable state where he seemed to have merged with the world, but not like spatial bending. However, in his mind there were still some figures he could not forget and didn't want to forget. Among those figures were his parents and that girl with the gentle smile playing the zither. Some people stayed busy their entire life and would forget the purpose of the reincarnation. Some people lived an ordinary life, and only when they looked up at the stars before their death would they suddenly remember that they had lost their pursuit. Someone had subverted the entire world, perhaps just to find a figure. Even if it was just a reflection, he was going to defy the world. Time passed by. This time it wasn't 40 years but 30 years. After Wang Lin endured with determination for 110 years, the green-robed old man made a choice. He could no longer wait. He had less than 30 years of lifespan left and there was no need to continue testing Wang Lin. He didn't believe someone could wait like this for 110 years. This wasn't cultivation but walking toward death. He saw that Wang Lin's body had become completely useless. Unless he had made preparations ahead of time, it would have been destroyed by those scorpions. If the origin soul was there, then once the physical body was destroyed, the origin soul would be swarmed and devoured by the scorpions. He didn't believe someone could endure waiting for their death. On this day, on the 110th year, the green-robed old man stood up. His coughing was even more intense as he walked toward the space Wang Lin was in, accompanied by the two green devil messengers. Shortly after, the coughing voice became faint in the scorpion building. In the green space, the green-robed old man's weak figure walked out from the ripples. He looked at Wang Lin's body that was covered in large amount of scorpions and pondered for a moment. "I don't know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, this old man admires your patience. To be able to endure for more than 100 years in such an environment, this old man couldn't do it. The battle between the Heavenly Bull continent and the Green Devil continent has reached its final stage from what the Green Devil messengers can feel." The green-robed old man suddenly paused. After a long time, his voice echoed through this green space once more. "If you can hear me, if you have really endured, then I hope that after you receive this great fortune, you won't make it too hard on the Green Devil continent. If you can do this, even if your mind still remains, this old man will give you this fortune without hesitation." The green-robed old man muttered, his words containing a sense of fatigue. "I'm already very old and will die in a few decades. I have been very tired over the years. My family's mission is to guard this place. After I die, I hope you can promise to take all the ashes buried here and bring them back to the central continent, because that is the home of my family." The old man's words felt like they were his last words before his death. They revealed an unspeakable sense of sincerity. But in his right hand, hidden inside his robe, was a jade. This jade was green and didn't need cultivation to use. Only each generation of GC could use it. Its main role, aside from destroying things, was to detect the fluctuations of the mines nearby. If Wang Lin's mind showed any sign of movement, then he would not hesitate to kill with the jade. He not be so kind like his words. This was his last test. A long time after he finished speaking, the jade in his hand had no reaction at all, and the green-robed old man relaxed. He put away the jade and looked at the large amount of green scorpions. He suddenly bit the tip of his tongue and spat out a mouthful of blood. The moment the blood appeared, it scattered on the space below. All the scorpions hissed and retreated like crazy. Wang Lin's withered body that was buried under them was revealed. 8 essences, still missing 1, the old man muttered. Then he raised his right hand. His robe was lifted, revealing his right arm covered in green hair. The arm was dried up and gave off the smell of decay. At this moment, all the green hair fell off and a yellow light surrounded his right hand. His arm slowly melted and 3 earth yellow beads flew out. With these 3 Ming earth beads, you should be able to form the earth essence. The old man's breath was slightly rough as he waved his left hand and the 3 beads flew toward Wang Lin. 1 entered the spot between Wang Lin's eyebrows, 1 went into his chest, and the last one went into his danton. When these 3 beads entered Wang Lin's body, his body trembled. A dazzling earth yellow light came from his body. When the dazzling light spread out, the surrounding scorpions hissed and retreated. They seemed to be very sensitive to the light. This light flashed for several hours and then a thin layer of earth covered Wang Lin. After being covered by the earth, Wang Lin became a mudman and remained motionless. Time passed. The green-robed old man didn't leave but sat down and looked at Wang Lin with a solemn expression. The dream of his family for countless years was about to be achieved, so this was very important to him. 3 days later, the thin layer of earth on Wang Lin's body didn't change at all. This caused a hint of surprise to appear in the old man's eyes. 3 Ming earth beads are not enough. Only enough for the earth essence in his body to reach small completion. The old man frowned and pressed his left hand between his own eyebrows. He used some special method to pull out 3 grains of sand. The 3 grains of sand were dark red, as if they were stained with blood. Looking at the 3 grains of sand in his hand, the old man let out a sigh. His family had spent a great deal of effort and countless years and resources to gather these 3 grains of sand. It was rumored that these 3 grains of sand were part of the 9 grains of sand filled with earth essence when the celestial ancestor created the continents. Aside from these 3 grains, 5 others were absorbed by people for the earth essence and the last one was turned into the continent where the imperial city was built. This item was extremely valuable, and very few people had even seen it firsthand. The old man didn't hesitate to throw a grain of sand toward Wang Lin. When the grain of sand entered Wang Lin's body, a thunderous rumble erupted. The thin layer of earth around his body rapidly grew until Wang Lin was shrouded by a 90-foot ball of earth. The ball of earth released extremely powerful earth essence and lasted for 9 days before it shrank until it disappeared. Then it spread out from Wang Lin's body once more and did so 8 times before it lost its effect. However, when it lost its effect, the green-robed old man threw the second grain of sand. There was another thunderous rumble from Wang Lin's body, and then the earth essence began to cycle once more. This time it cycled 9 times. After the 9th cycle was completed, a large amount of earth essence surged out from Wang Lin's body. The 9th essence was added to his body. But it was not over yet. After the 9th essence formed, the earth essence power wasn't all used up. It rapidly rushed toward forming an essence true body for the 9th essence. The green-robed old man excitedly stood up and waved his left hand, sending the 3rd grain of sand toward Wang Lin. When the earth essence surged, Wang Lin's withering body immediately recovered. All the injuries were reversed. His earth essence immediately expanded and absorbed all the earth essence from the 3rd grain of sand. Signs of a 3rd essence true body appeared. However, without Wang Lin's will, this true body could not form completely. If Wang Lin's origin soul came out of the protection of the heaven-defying bead, he could take over the earth and thunder essence true bodies. He would become a cultivator with 3 essence true bodies. With 3 essence true bodies, even if he was still at the peak of the spirit void stage, his strength would increase several-fold. On top of that, Wang Lin had 9 essences now. The moment his origin soul appeared, He could use these 9 essences to break into the arcane void stage. This person's body also has 3 ethereal and 2 special essences. The remaining 4 are all corporeal. I don't have any method of forming essence true bodies for the ethereal and special essences, but I do have a method for the 4th corporeal essence. The green-robed old man was excited. All the things my family has prepared can finally be used. The old man's eyes lit up and his left hand immediately hit various parts of his body. Every time he hit his body, a mysterious item would fly out from his body and float there, emitting a dazzling glow. His body was like a storage bag that had stored the large amount of items his family had prepared over the countless years. These items had all been prepared to aid the revival of the Green Devil Scorpion. They were sealed into the GC of each generation with a special method. Unless they took them out willingly, no one else can take these items. Perhaps only a Grand Empyrean could do it. This person's body is clearly from the ancient Tao, but although the ancient Tao body is strong, it lacks resilience. I'll use this 90,000-year-old celestial tree branch to make this body extremely difficult to destroy. The green-robed old man's left hand reached out and grabbed a black tree branch that gave off an ancient aura. This branch was extremely rare on the immortal astral continent. His family had paid a great price to trade for it. He didn't hesitate to throw the branch filled with the power of the world toward Wang Lin's body. When it closed in, the branch exploded into black powder and surrounded Wang Lin's body. This powder spread out as if it had life and formed fine wires that entered Wang Lin's pores. They connected to each other inside his body and formed a dense net inside Wang Lin. Next, the powder connected to Wang Lin's flesh and blood. It was buried deep within, and popping sounds echoed throughout his body. His body gave off a strange feeling of toughness and was now beyond an ancient Tao body. Not only was it extremely strong, it was also resilient, making it very difficult to destroy. This person's eyes aren't sharp enough to suppress others. Even though this body is strong, it lacks the aura to suppress the world. I'll take the fragments of the celestial sword that Lord Green Devil broke while battling the celestial ancestor to create this aura of majesty for this body. From now on, one gaze from this person will be able to suppress cultivators. The old man's eyes were filled with madness. He waved his left hand and a palm-sized piece of metal flew toward Wang Lin. This piece of metal was made of some unknown material. It was a metal that was like wood and a wood that was like metal. There were many lines forming dark-colored characters. The moment it appeared, it caused this green space to be filled with endless sword energy. This sword energy howled and swept through the entire green space. This caused all the green light to collapse, and the scorpions all hissed loudly as if they were extremely afraid of this metal fragment. The piece of metal instantly closed in and entered Wang Lin's body. It melted and turned into a golden aura that spread to every part of his body. At this instant, a powerful pressure erupted from Wang Lin's body. It was so powerful it felt solid. The old man's body trembled. At this moment, Wang Lin's origin soul was not controlling his body, or else the pressure would be even more shocking with his current cultivation level. The 2 Green Devil messengers' expressions changed. They looked at Wang Lin's body with extremely serious expressions. Although this person's body is that of the ancient clan, Lord Green Devil's body is stronger than the ancient clan, and his cultivation is more powerful than the celestial clan. This person's body is still not strong enough. Although I can't make his ancient and celestial powers fuse, the more pure his bloodline, the more his celestial power will be rejected. In order to avoid the rejection, I must create a separate vein so that when Lord Green Devil descends, he can reach peak cultivation, the green-robed man muttered. The madness in his eyes became even stronger. He waved his sleeve and 4 leaves, 6 pills that gave off the smell of blood, a red bloodline, and 3 gray stones flew toward Wang Lin. Each one of them was extremely precious. If they were taken out in public, they would cause countless cultivators to fight for them. The green-robed old man didn't hesitate at all to use them on Wang Lin. The items collapsed into countless pieces and entered Wang Lin's body. Among them, the bloodline was the most valuable. Rumor had it that it was a strand of hair from the celestial ancestor. It looked ordinary, but there were few items in the world sharp enough to cut it. After it entered Wang Lin's body, it cycled through him 9 times. The head and the tail met to form a second vein in Wang Lin's body. If Wang Lin's origin soul came out of the heaven-defying bead, He could utilize both ancient power and celestial power at once. This was something no one had ever been to manage before. Even with Wang Lin's determination, he was shocked by the green-robed old man's determination. However, this was not the end. The green-robed old man could not have only prepared these few things. Once Lord Green Devil has been resurrected, he will need a sharp treasure that can cut open the world. It would not be good for it to be external, it should be an internal treasure, and only then would Lord Green Devil be impressed. Over the countless years my clan has searched the world to gather more than 90,000 different kinds of materials. We also paid any price to obtain a sliver of soul from 20 of the eastern continent's suppressed souls to refine them together to form this blade. This blade has not gone through an immortal astral calamity. Once it has passed the calamity, it will be a treasure to make a Grand Emperor's eyes red. The green-robed old man's eyes revealed a bright light and he waved his left hand. A cold mist surrounded him and flew toward Wang Lin. An invisible blade seemed to be hiding inside the fog. The blade looked like a curved spine, making for a shocking sight. This treasure cannot be accommodated by any storage space. It can only be used within the body. This person's body is destined to be taken over by Lord Green Devil. So I'll plant the Xian blade in his right arm. This blade will become famous across the immortal astral continent someday. The green-robed old man looked crazy as the fog quickly gathered inside Wang Lin. It rushed into his right hand, and his right hand immediately turned black. It was as if he had been frozen by never-melting ice. With a crackling sound, a 9-inch-long blade grew out from the palm of his hand. The moment the blade appeared, a storm appeared inside the green space. Cracking sounds echoed and ice filled this space. The green-robed old man's robe was made of some unknown material. As soon as the cold air closed in on him, it was blocked. But the two Green Devil messengers behind him didn't have such a mysterious treasure. When the cold energy closed in on them, their expressions changed greatly and they retreated. Their bodies were immediately covered in ice and even their eyebrows became ice. Their faces were deathly pale and they let out roars as they retreated. They activated their full cultivation to barely resist the cold. This was because the blade had no owner. If Wang Lin's origin soul had left his mark on it, and he borrowed the surge in cultivation from this soul armor, the blade would be powerful enough to startle the world and make gods and ghosts cry. It could even summon the souls from the 29 continents to form a shocking suppression, which was why it was extremely difficult for the two Green Devil messengers to resist the cold. This blade could even battle against late-stage void turbulent cultivators and not lose out. Only someone like Lord Green Devil is worthy of this blade. The green-robed old man's hidden face was strangely red. His eyes were filled with excitement as he watched the blade in Wang Lin's hand return into the flesh. After it disappeared without a trace, he couldn't help but laugh. As he laughed, he began to cough violently and even coughed out blood. He was far too old and was almost out of time. This body now has a 9th essence, is more resilient, the eyes have gained suppression, it has a vein formed by the hair of the celestial ancestor, and its right hand contains the blade. This body is almost perfect. But he only has 3 essence true bodies and is still missing a water essence true body. I'll use my family's countless years of preparation to form the 4th essence true body for this body. The green-robed old man waved his left hand. The items around him shined brightly. Celestial Sea Mother Soul, the old man said as he waved his hand. A ball of ghostly light appeared. There was extremely pure water essence aura coming from the ball of ghostly light. It was impossible to see what was inside, but the aura was powerful enough to cause layers of water ripples to appear inside this green space. This item was something the old man's family had stolen by launching a war without hesitation. This was stolen to help the Green Devil's scorpion heal. But at this moment, the old man took it out without hesitation in order to make Wang Lin's body perfect. Mortal Dream Water. The green-robed old man waved his left hand and the second item flew out. It was a black porcelain bottle, and there was only 1 drop of water inside. This item was very precious. The old man had planted this drop inside the dreams of countless mortals. After countless years, he harvested it from the dream of mortal. This dream water was an illusion, but it contained the extreme power of the water essence. Tao heart-melting liquid. Water celestial blood. Heaven and earth water origin. The green-robed old man waved his hand and the items around him flew out. When they closed in on Wang Lin, they exploded and entered Wang Lin's body where the blood was still solidified. They all released dense water essence aura and caused Wang Lin's water essence to power up like crazy. This increase in power was something Wang Lin had only seen inside the Donglin pool in the illusion in the cave world. He had an indescribable feeling as he watched his water essence true body move toward completion. The items that made his water essence power up were extremely rare. If Wang Lin wanted to obtain them, he would need at least 1,000 years. Some of these items were so rare, Wang Lin wouldn't even know where to find any clues on how to obtain them. However, at this moment during this great fortune they suddenly appeared and entered his body. His water essence true body suddenly formed an outline and began to form. However, it was still a bit away from forming an essence true body. However, since the old man was confident in forming Wang Lin's fourth essence true body, then he had to have a certain degree of confidence. He suddenly bit the tip of his tongue and coughed out a large mouthful of blood. After that, his body hidden inside the green robe trembled. This blood contained the power hidden in his family. In addition, this mouthful of blood contained 8 years of his lifespan. The blood mist covered Wang Lin's body. However, the old man didn't stop. He clenched his teeth and coughed out blood once more. He used up another 8 years of his life. These 2 mouthfuls of blood contained the inheritance and trace of life force from the old man's clan. At this moment, Wang Lin's body trembled and his water essence gathered like crazy. His blood also began to circulate rapidly. In a flash, several months passed. Several months later, water essence aura erupted from Wang Lin's body and condensed within his body too from the fourth essence true body. This was the water essence true body. At this moment, the essence true body seemed to be asleep and didn't contain any will. However, as long as Wang Lin wanted to, he could take control of it. But he was still waiting. Wang Lin had already won part of this battle of time. If he wanted to continue to win, he would have to keep waiting. He couldn't be tempted by anything and would have to fight until the end. The countless items the green-robed old man's family had gathered had mostly been used on Wang Lin. Only 4 or 5 items remained, and they each gave off a gentle glow. But the old man's fierce face was filled with excitement. He seemed to have forgotten that he had less than 15 years left to live, forgotten the price he had paid, and forgotten how tired he was. The only thing in his mind was to see the arrival of Lord Green Devil, and see the Green Devil Scorpion resurrect. This body is already perfect. Lord Green Devil will love it. Now we must temper this body as the final preparation. Transform it to a scorpion body that would be perfect for Lord Green Devil. The green-robed old man waved his sleeve and all the remaining materials flew toward Wang Lin. They shattered into fragments and surrounded Wang Lin. The green space began to tremble and the countless scorpions collapsed. They turned into green light and flew toward Wang Lin. The green space began to shrink around Wang Lin as well until it formed a giant, green furnace. The furnace was 10,000 feet tall. It was like a heavenly furnace. It was completely green and covered in the aura of the green scorpions. It also contained the few remaining rare items the old man had, and it was going to transform Wang Lin's body. Green Devil messengers, turn your cultivation into fire to fuel the furnace. The green-robed old man coughed and his hoarse voice was filled with excitement. The 2 Green Devil messengers didn't hesitate to step forward and sit down next to the green furnace. This hands formed seals and their origin souls flew out. They spat out large amounts of origin essence to turn into fire to fuel the furnace. The moment the furnace surrounded Wang Lin, his body trembled and released popping sounds. At the same time, strands of green gas came from the furnace and entered his body. Every strand contained extremely powerful energy of the world. This was not the aura of the ancient clan or the celestial clan, but a power that belonged to the world. This power belonged to the Green Devil Scorpion, but it also belonged to Wang Lin. These strands of endless power of the world entered Wang Lin's body like crazy and gathered inside him. Wang Lin's body was like a bottomless pit that continued to absorb this power. His origin soul stared at the power of the world under the protection of the heaven-defying bead. More and more excitement filled his eyes, but he endured and didn't absorb it. At this moment, he only needed but one thought to assume control over his body and absorb this power of the world to cause his cultivation to surge. However, he was waiting. waiting for more of this power to gather inside his body. He had waited for more than 100 years for this fortune. If his origin soul appeared early and was noticed by the outside, his fortune would decrease greatly. As time passed, more and more power of the world entered his body. In the end, it occupied and overlapped in almost every part of Wang Lin's body. But Wang Lin still waited. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. In the blink of an eye, 10 years passed. During these 10 years of time, the green-robed old man had only sat outside the green furnace, and his eyes were red as he stared at it. He had spent his life on this, and he didn't have much time left. His body was weak, but he wanted to hold on and see the moment the green devil scorpion resurrected. Even though there were 3 rays of light flying through this fog that no one had been to in 100 years, the green-robed old man didn't care anymore. The 3 rays of light were very careful as they slowly closed in. Wang Lin was familiar with these people. It was the other 3 that possessed the heavenly bull soul armor. The Guei sect master's plan had been delayed for more than 100 years for some reason and had just relaunched. Outside the green furnace, the 2 green devil messengers had been spewing out their origin essence for 10 years. Their origin souls were very weak now, and they could not bear it much longer. Several days later, one of the green devil messenger's origin souls spat out the last of his origin essence. His origin soul dissipated and his body fell down. He was dead. Less than half an incense stick of time after he died, the other messenger's origin soul also dissipated. The deaths of the 2 green devil messengers who had accompanied the old man for a long time didn't cause the old man's expression to change. This old man gave off the aura of death and he was in a semi-dead state. If not for his powerful will supporting him, he would have already died. His eyes were red and the excitement that had lasted for 10 years wasn't anywhere near dying down now. His excitement grew until it erupted at this moment. His weak body knelt down from sitting and he looked up. His face was filled with excitement as he spoke loudly with his hoarse voice. With my identity as the Green Devil Scorpion's GC, I invite Lord Green Devil to awaken and descend. This old slave has prepared this body for Lord Green Devil to possess. The old man began to chant an old mantra of an unknown language. Soon his voice filled the area. The scorpion building slowly began to tremble. As dust flew into the air, a powerful soul aura seemed to awaken and slowly spread out. The green-robed old man looked up in excitement. As the scorpion building continued to tremble, 9 strands of green gas gathered from 9 different directions. The green gas gathered above the furnace and formed a giant shadow. This shadow was tens of thousands of feet large. It was a green scorpion. This scorpion was covered in scars and its aura was weak. However, it exuded an indescribable pressure. And under this pressure, the entire green devil continent seemed to tremble. This shadow was part of the main soul that was being suppressed. His main soul couldn't leave, it could only produce this wisp of soul. However, once this wisp of soul gained a body, it could think of a method to absorb his suppressed main soul and truly be resurrected. The giant scorpion soul slowly opened its eyes that had been closed for countless years. Its eyes were cold and ruthless and gave off an aura as if it was above all. It looked down. Was it you who called this Lord? An extremely cold voice echoed across the world. Its voice was like law and immediately shook the world. However, even so, the scorpion wasn't able to hide how weak it was. It was so weak it could collapse from a gentle breeze. The green-robed old man's body trembled and bowed toward the soul. This old slave greets Lord Green Devil. Lord Green Devil, this old slave has prepared the perfect body for Lord to possess. There is no divine sense or origin soul left, so it won't affect Lord's possession. The green-robed old man was very excited and his voice was no longer hoarse. He knew that the green devil scorpion was extremely weak after being suppressed, and that it was only here as a wisp of soul. This was why he had tested so many times, because if there was an origin soul inside the body, it would cause problems for the possession. This problem could cause everything to be for nothing, and the weak green devil scorpion would end up getting seriously injured. After the green-robed old man spoke, the green devil scorpion's giant body turned slightly. It looked at the green furnace and its gaze seems to become solid when it saw Wang Lin inside the furnace. Its gaze swept past Wang Lin's body 9 times, but not even it could detect the heaven-defying bead, much less Wang Lin's soul that was hiding inside. After a long time, the scorpion soul withdrew its gaze. The green-robed old man knelt there and excitedly said, "Lord Green Devil, this old slave has completed the transformation according to Lord's requirements. There is not a trace of origin soul remaining. You are very good. After this Lord revives, you will be rewarded." The giant scorpion soul sent out ripples and then suddenly moved. In a flash, it penetrated the green furnace and closed in on Wang Lin. Wang Lin's origin soul hiding in the heaven-defying bead still didn't move. After 10 years, he was still waiting. He was not only waiting for the fortune to enhance his body, he had an even bolder idea. The green-robed old man had been very cautious and had tested him again and again. This showed that if an origin soul remained inside the body, it would cause the possession to fail. It could make it so the green devil scorpion couldn't revive. Since that was the case, he was going to gamble until the end. He was waiting for the arrival of the green devil scorpion. Since it wanted to devour him, he was going to devour it. The scorpion soul looked powerful, but in truth, it had already been seriously injured and was still being suppressed. Also, only a wisp of its main soul was present here. The scorpion soul didn't immediately enter Wang Lin but spread out its divine sense many times. Only after doing so did it relax a bit and charge into Wang Lin's body. In a flash, the green scorpion slowly entered Wang Lin's body. It didn't choose to immediately possess the body but carefully absorbed after entering Wang Lin's body. Time slowly passed. In a flash, 3 days went by. Only after observing for 3 days did it slowly enter Wang Lin's body a bit more. Looking at how careful it was, it seemed like anything would make it flee immediately. It couldn't see Wang Lin's origin soul, but Wang Lin could see it. Wang Lin watched the scorpion soul slowly enter his body and spread out, but it didn't begin the possession. The scorpion's caution had reached a limit. This showed how weak it was. Wang Lin's origin soul didn't move. He was still waiting. If he attacked now, the scorpion soul would leave quickly because it hadn't started the possession. Once it began the possession, it wouldn't be easy to leave, and that would be the best chance for Wang Lin. Wang Lin's origin soul revealed a cold gaze. He didn't know what his cultivation level would be after he devoured the scorpion soul, but he had a feeling that this would be a great fortune for him. He had enough patience to use his body as bait to gain this fortune. Outside the green furnace, the green-robed old man waited excitedly. He was waiting for the green scorpion to complete the possession. If he could see the complete possession, he would smile into the underworld. The green scorpion soul seemed to lose its patience after 7 days. A large portion of its body entered Wang Lin, and occupied more than 70% of Wang Lin's body. It seemed to have relaxed, and it began the possession. Its soul inside Wang Lin spread out like crazy and moved toward Wang Lin's mind. When it entered Wang Lin's mind, it found no trace of an origin soul. It immediately became excited. It had waited for so many years for this perfect chance. It could finally begin the possession. It has to be said that even if an immortal astral continent cultivator's body had no origin soul, the scorpion couldn't possess it because they were born here. It could only possess the body of a cultivator that was not born here, like itself. At this moment, it stopped holding back and a large portion of its soul entered Wang Lin. The figure of a scorpion slowly formed in Wang Lin's mind. Once it formed completely, it would finish its possession. However, just as this shadow was half formed, Wang Lin's origin soul suddenly erupted from the heaven-defying bead. The moment he appeared, he charged toward his head, where the scorpion shadow was forming. The moment he closed in, he began to devour it. There was no spell or power, just naked devouring power. The scorpion soul screamed. It didn't think there was still an origin soul inside this body. It was caught off guard by Wang Lin's sudden appearance. Although it was very weak, it became fierce when Wang Lin began to devour it. It began resisting Wang Lin's origin soul, and a fierce battle of devouring began inside Wang Lin's body. But the scorpion wasn't prepared at all. While Wang Lin had prepared for more than 100 years, Wang Lin became crazy and desperately devoured. Time passed instantly. After 1 incense stick of time, the battle of devouring between Wang Lin and the scorpion soul reached a dangerous point. The scorpion soul continued to scream. It was weak, and it had only come with only part of its soul. Against Wang Lin, who had prepared for over 100 years, it was gradually losing. People outside could not feel the dangerous battle inside Wang Lin's body. The green-robed old man excitedly looked at the furnace and the scorpion soul that had mostly entered the furnace. The scorpion soul trembled and the old man was startled. This is... He couldn't imagine why Lord Green Devil would tremble during possession as if something was wrong. However, the old man soon felt relief. It must be because the Lord is not satisfied with the body and is remodeling it during possession. The more the old man thought about it, the more it made sense and the more he smiled. For Lord Green Devil to personally transform it showed the value of this body. He smiled even wider as he looked at the trembling scorpion soul on the furnace. Inside Wang Lin's body, Wang Lin and the scorpion soul had devoured each other no less than 10,000 times. He became more and more crazy. He had waited and prepared for more than 100 years. How could he let go of the scorpion soul that was going to devour him? Wang Lin's madness caused the scorpion soul to feel extreme fear. It was already weak, and after the endless devouring, it showed signs of retreating. It had taken countless years to condense this wisp of soul. Once this wisp dissipated, it would have no chance of awakening. Right now, it already hated the GC's family to the bones. From its view, all of this was because of that GC. When it decided to retreat, the scorpion soul roared silently and quickly retreated. However, Wang Lin gave chase and continued to devour like crazy. It caused the scorpion soul to become even more frightened. It quickly retreated and finally left Wang Lin's head. Just as it was about to leave Wang Lin's body, Wang Lin devoured a big mouthful, causing it to let out a cry. It quickly flew out of Wang Lin's body, but its huge body had shrunk by half. When it was outside, it escaped into the sky in panic. The green-robed old man saw this. He was startled and his eyes revealed confusion. After the scorpion soul left, Wang Lin's origin soul immediately shrouded his entire body. Sitting inside the green furnace, his eyes opened for the first time in more than 100 years. The moment he opened his eyes, the world rumbled. The green furnace around him collapsed into countless fragments and shattered as Wang Lin jumped into the air. Fire essence true body! Wang Lin roared. A sea of fire appeared in his left eye and a fire essence true body that looked exactly like him appeared behind him. Thunder essence true body! Wang Lin roared and thunder flashed in his left eye. The thunder essence true body formed by the Devil Dao sect master was integrated with Wang Lin's will and appeared behind him. Earth essence true body! Wang Lin let out a roar at the sky. Yellow light came out of his 108,000 pores and formed his third essence true body behind him. Water essence true body! The water essence true body had fused with Wang Lin's blood. At this moment, Wang Lin's blood vessels swelled and a shadow appeared behind him. It quickly formed into Wang Lin's fourth essence true body. After the four essence true bodies appeared, Wang Lin's aura was startling. His cultivation level was still the same, but he only needed to calm himself and his cultivation level would increase greatly with one thought. However, right now was not the time to calm down. After the four essence true bodies appeared, Wang Lin's eyes released a burst of golden light. This golden light contained a suppression force, and he looked at the escaping scorpion soul. The scorpion soul let out a scream. It felt the aura of the celestial sword from the celestial ancestor. Its soul trembled after being stared at by this gaze. Time was of the essence. Wang Lin didn't hesitate to raise his right hand. There was a sharp pain as the 9-inch Xian blade grew out from his right palm. A blade grew out of the right palms of each of the essence true bodies, and they all sliced at the scorpion soul. As the green-robed old man watched all of this unfold, he coughed out a mouthful of blood. His eyes widened and he died of anger. He had angered himself to death. I hate. These were the last words the green-robed old man roared before he died. With his wisdom, he naturally understood what had happened. He had watched Wang Lin use the suppression Xian blade he had given him on the green scorpion. This scene was enough to anger him into a heart attack. He already didn't have much lifespan left as he coughed out blood and died. He had given Wang Lin a resilient body, eyes to suppress the world, a vein formed from the hair of the celestial ancestor, the Xian blade and the earth essence. On top of all that, he had even helped Wang Lin form two essence true bodies. All of these things were given by him. His eyes widened from anger and his eyes were filled with monstrous hate. Even though he was dead, the hatred remained, as if the hatred itself was going to turn into a ghost. Wang Lin had no time to pay attention to the dead green-robed old man. He leaped forward and raised the blade his right hand had turned into. His four essence true bodies did the same. He mercilessly sliced down on the escaping green devil scorpion soul. The green devil scorpion soul also contained endless hatred. It hated the green-robed old man for making it end up in its current state. However, the green-robed old man was dead, so it had no place to vent its anger. It also could not vent its anger in this moment of danger. It could only escape. From afar, this was a shocking scene. The green furnace was still collapsing and the fragments scattered. The green scorpion soul screamed as it fled. Behind it, Wang Lin's white hair fluttered as he gave chase with a powerful aura. He raised the blade in his hand with the momentum to destroy the heaven and earth and sliced down with his four essence true bodies. It was at this moment that ripples echoed and 3 rays of light closed in. However, when they revealed their bodies, the 3 of them trembled. They watched what was happening with disbelief. The 3 that arrived were the other owners of the Heavenly Bull soul armor beside Wang Lin, Yunifeng, Xianxia, and the old man Edgecloud. The 3 of them had come to the Green Scorpion Temple for some unknown reason after 100 years. The journey to the temple was extremely difficult, but after arriving at the temple, it was a smooth path. They had encountered nothing and arrived in the deepest part of the temple. However, what awaited them was this soul-shaking blade. Wang Lin. He is actually here. Yunifeng and Xianxia were both startled. Didn't he die? Edgecloud's pupils shrank and he was filled with shock. The blade sliced down and flashed as the scorpion soul's scream reached a limit. It trembled and wanted to resist, but it didn't only have to face Wang Lin's blade. The blades of his 4 essence true bodies were coming as well. When the first blade closed in, the scorpion soul distorted and tried to dodge. The second and third blades arrived, but the scorpion soul could not dodge them all. It suddenly turned around and sprayed out a large amount of green fog as the 4th and 5th blades sliced down. Thunderous rumbles echoed across the world. The scorpion soul let out a miserable scream as it was cut into 6 parts by the 5 blades. 4 of the parts were absorbed by Wang Lin. They turned into strands of smoke around Wang Lin, making him look like a celestial. The remaining 2 parts quickly escaped into the distance as they screamed. They disappeared into the scorpion building, and where they had gone was unknown. The surroundings gradually calmed down. Only Yunifeng and company's breathing was extremely clear in the silent scorpion temple. Wang Lin floated there and the fog around him soon condensed into 7 strands of soul force that entered his body. His right hand was still a blade and his 4 essence true bodies coldly stood there. His gaze swept by Yunifeng and company. Leave. He didn't speak much and only said this one line. However, when he spoke, a shocking aura erupted from his body. When his gaze landed on them, Yunifeng felt his heart tremble. It was as if Wang Lin could clearly see through all his secrets, and he even had the illusion that he was being suppressed. Fortunately, this feeling disappeared the moment it appeared. Otherwise, he might not even be able to speak from trembling. The same feeling also filled Xianxia's mind. Her face was pale as she stared at Wang Lin. She couldn't believe that Wang Lin's gaze was so terrifying after just 100 years. That gaze gave off a sharpness that could tear apart the world itself. It contained a suppression force that could cause anyone who was swept by it to collapse. Compared to the 2 of them, Edgecloud's feeling was even more intense. He had fought with Wang Lin before, and Wang Lin didn't go easy on him. When Edgecloud was swept by the gaze, he felt his heart rumble and he took 3 steps back. His face became pale and his forehead was covered in sweat. Thunderous rumbles echoed in his ears and he felt like he was abandoned by the world. He was all alone and was being suppressed by the heavens. He even felt that the heavens that were suppressing him was Wang Lin's gaze. It felt like there was a sword in Wang Lin's gaze that hadn't fully appeared. Once it fully appeared, he would be torn apart by that sword. This feeling was so powerful that he almost went crazy. Just as he was about to collapse, Wang Lin's words echoed like the law of the world. Edgecloud retreated like crazy, and only after he was thousands of kilometers away did he feel at ease. His whole body was soaked in sweat, leaving him with a chilly feeling. Yunifeng and Tangjia also retreated. The two of them were not suppressed by Wang Lin, so their retreat was not as embarrassing as Edge Cloud's. However, Yunifeng was extremely bitter. He had never expected to meet Wang Lin here after 100 years and see such a scene. The three of them silently pondered and slowly retreated. They didn't leave the Scorpion Temple, but they stopped far away from Wang Lin. They still had a mission to complete, and the Scorpion Temple was not completely destroyed. However, Wang Lin's presence made it so they didn't dare to act recklessly. Tangjia looked into the distance and there was still disbelief in her eyes. She was silent and her mind was very chaotic. Wang Lin stood in the air and looked at the dead green-robed old man. Wang Lin was very calm. This person had helped him greatly, except all his intentions were to kill Wang Lin. Not much how many fortunes this person had given him, Wang Lin wouldn't feel any gratitude. Just as he was about to withdraw his gaze, Wang Lin exclaimed softly and looked again. He saw a strand of black gas come out of the old man's body and condense in his head, forming a palm-sized cloud of fog. This fog was filled with hatred and was extremely cold. It caused the surrounding area to immediately become cold. This is Wang Lin and Appo's mind moved and his divine sense spread toward the black fog. The moment his divine sense touched the fog, a hoarse voice roared in his mind. I hate! I hate! This voice was so fierce, even Wang Lin's heart skipped a beat, and his eyes shined brightly. Ghost soul. This person formed such a powerful ghost soul after he died. This ghost soul was several times more powerful than the void turbulent cultivator from the extreme sky prairie. It was peak upper quality, infinitely close to perfect quality. Wang Lin's eyes shined and he waved his sleeve without hesitation. The ghost soul formed by the green-robed old man flew toward Wang Lin and was put away. With this ghost soul and the ghost soul from the extreme sky prairie, Wang Lin was confident in refining an almost perfect grade ghostly sail. With this ghostly sail and the vice ghost sail Wang Lin had, he could display almost perfect grade level illusion spells. The green-robed old man had not only given Wang Lin many fortunes, he had even given himself to Wang Lin in the end. After putting away the ghostly sail, Wang Lin had a strange expression. He looked at the green-robed old man with a complicated expression, and after a long time, he let out a sigh. He waved his sleeve and the old man's body disappeared into ashes, leaving behind only the green robe. Grabbing the green robe, Wang Lin's divine sense scanned it. This item was very strange. His divine sense could not penetrate it or see what was inside. After pondering a bit, Wang Lin put the only thing the old man had left, the green robe, away. With this, it could be said that the green-robed old man had completely given everything to Wang Lin. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. His cultivation level had showed signs of increasing. He took a deep breath and his eyes were filled with excitement. This time, let's see how far my cultivation level will go. My cultivation level was too low before. I hope I can stand high in the immortal astral continent after this. And the Devil Dao sect, I made an oath that I never forgot in these 100 years. Wang Lin was filled with killing intent. When he closed his eyes, he could see the human heads he was familiar with. They were all people he knew from the extreme sky prairie. He sat down and the 4 essence true bodies guarded him. With these 4 essence true bodies, Wang Lin could calmly increase his cultivation level inside the silent scorpion temple. He had reached peak spirit void with 8 essences, and one of them had even formed an essence true body. Today everything was different. Wang Lin had 3 essence true bodies and had also obtained his 9th essence. This 9th essence was very important. It was the key to Wang Lin's increase in cultivation level. He had 9 essences now: life and death, karma, true and false, restriction, slaughter, thunder, fire, water, and earth. Rush for arcane void. Wang Lin's eyes shined brightly and he took a deep breath. The 4 essence true bodies around him released essence aura into his body. The 9 essences inside him rapidly rotated and he rushed toward arcane void. Spirit void and arcane void were only 1 word apart, but the difference was like heaven and earth. Reaching the arcane void stage required one to understand the heavens and to possess at least 1 ethereal essence. Once he reached the arcane void stage, he would be stepping into the ranks of the powerful. Aside from the likes of the 9 sects and 13 factions, An arcane void cultivator was still considered very powerful on the immortal astral continent. Most importantly, after reaching the arcane void stage, one could cast some mysterious spells. Although they weren't very useful to Wang Lin, reaching arcane void would be a big step in his cultivation. The 9 essences in his body continued to rotate, and his late-stage spirit void cultivation levels suddenly increased. The speed of this increase was extremely terrifying, and in the blink of an eye, an illusion appeared above Wang Lin. It was a mass of clouds, and it rotated into a vortex. It seemed to maintain the same speed as Wang Lin's essences, which was very fast. Wang Lin's origin soul seemed to undergo a metamorphosis and released a blinding light. Although this light came from inside his body, but it seemed to release through his skin. Right now, Wang Lin looked like he was transparent, and he was filled with an unspeakable sense of majesty. At this moment, he broke through peak spirit void and reached early stage arcane void. The moment he entered the early stage of arcane void, a lot of things in this world changed for Wang Lin. A lot of things he was confused about became clear. He opened his eyes and looked around. His gaze revealed wisdom. Arcane void for me is only a transition. My goal is to step into void turbulent. Wang Lin muttered. Like he said, arcane void was just a transition stage. He had obtained a great fortune, especially the power of the world that had gathered inside him from the green furnace. Once his origin soul absorbed it, his cultivation level would increase greatly once more. Most importantly, Wang Lin had 9 essences, and he needed to fuse the 9 essence into one. If he could do this, he could face the 9 arcane turbulence. Once he passed through the arcane turbulence, Wang Lin would become a void turbulent cultivator. His gaze was filled with decisiveness. He had waited a long time for a fortune like this, and he would not let it go. Without hesitation, Wang Lin took a deep breath. His hands formed a seal, and he pointed forward. 9 essences returned to 1. He pointed, and the fire essence true body, the earth essence true body, and the water essence true body trembled. Large amounts of essence energy spread out from their foreheads. The 3 essence auras swirled before Wang Lin. There was fire, earth, and water moving inside the vortex. These 3 belong to the 5 elements. Once these 3 fuse into one, it will help me reach the mid-stage of arcane void. They all have essence true bodies, so after they fuse, the essence true bodies will be even more powerful. Wang Lin's eyes revealed a strange light as his hands formed a seal. The 3 essences before him rotated faster. Fire raged, water surged, and earth trembled. These 3 5-element essences continued to collide as they rotated. A thunderous rumble echoed, but the 3 essences didn't fuse, they suddenly scattered. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he bit the tip of his tongue to spit out blood. He used his blood as an adhesive and began controlling the 3 essences to fuse once more. Water and fire are opposites, but I'll use earth as the medium. Earth can bury water and can also bury fire. With my essence blood that contains my will, I refuse to believe these 3 essences can't fuse. Wang Lin roared and his hands quickly formed seals. The 3 essences rumbled inside the vortex before him, and thunderous rumbles echoed. The image inside the vortex constantly changed. Sometimes it was a terrifying flood and sometimes it was a sea of fire. However, whether it was water or fire, both were being shrouded by a rolling sandstorm. As time passed, the image inside the vortex flickered faster and faster. Several months later, Wang Lin had coughed out 7 mouthfuls of blood, but the essences showed signs of fusing. Wang Lin became more alert as he controlled the 3 essences to collide hundreds and thousands of times. Another 7 days passed. A thunderous rumble echoed as the 3 essences began to fuse. The images flashed between the sand, flood, and fire until they overlapped to form a complete image. This image had the earth in the middle, with the sea of fire raging above and the roaring flood below. The moment this image was completed, the 3 essence true bodies began to fuse after their auras had fused. This was the fusion of 3 essence true bodies. This new essence true body contained water, fire, and earth. This essence true body was an independent existence and could no longer be called an essence true body. It was more similar to a 5-element avatar. The moment the body created by the fusion of the 3 essence true bodies appeared, Wang Lin's origin soul began absorbing the power gathering inside his body. His early-stage arcane void cultivation suddenly began to increase. It was increasing like crazy toward mid-stage arcane void. This process lasted for a month, and Wang Lin let out a long laugh afterwards. His cultivation level was no longer early-stage arcane void, but mid-stage arcane void. Since ancient times, no one could pass the early stage of arcane void and reach the mid-stage in a few short months. If this got out, Wang Lin would have everyone's attention. But all of this was just the beginning. It was far from the end. The slaughter essence and the restriction essence are special essences and are very difficult to integrate. However, I can use the thunder essence as threads to temporarily fuse the two special essences and allow my cultivation level to climb to late-stage arcane void. This is possible because the thunder essence has an essence true body, which makes it far stronger than the two special essences. As Wang Lin muttered, his eyes lit up and countless bloodlines appeared, forming the restriction essence before him. At the same time, a monstrous killing intent gathered before him to form his slaughter essence. These two special essences rotated before him. Wang Lin raised his right hand and pointed at the thunder essence true body. The thunder essence true body suddenly opened its eyes, and they were filled with thunder. It quickly changed into a bolt of thunder and moved between the slaughter and restriction essences. It formed threads connecting the two special essences and rapidly fused them. This fusion was even more difficult than that of the 5-element essences. After 1 month, Wang Lin was still unsuccessful. The slaughter essence was extremely domineering, and the restriction was a natural counter to the thunder essence. It was extremely difficult for them to fuse. Wang Lin's eyes were filled with bloodlines. He looked at the 3 essences and frowned. Once an opportunity was found, the fusion of essences could be done quickly, but if the opportunity was not there, no matter how much he tried, it would be pointless. Unfortunately, I only have 2 special essences. If I had a third one, it might have been easier. However, I can't wait any longer. Since I can't do it this way, I'll just have to try a different method. Condense onto the thunder essence true body. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he changed his method. He no longer used the thunder essence as an auxiliary, but as the main body to absorb the 2 special essences. As Wang Lin's hands formed seals, he coughed out several mouthfuls of essence blood that shrouded the thunder essence true body. After the true body absorbed Wang Lin's blood, which contained his will, the body stretched out its arms and reached toward the slaughter and restriction essences. Use the thunder body to fuse slaughter. Use the thunder body to fuse restriction. Once it was successful, the thunder essence true body would change rapidly and contain 3 essences. Even the thunder would change. But such a thing was extremely rare. Wang Lin didn't know what would happen, but he had to do this. In a flash, several months passed. On a day several months later, the thunder essence true body gave off a shocking aura. It had successfully integrated with the slaughter and restriction essences. With a thunderous bang, the thunder essence true body went through a shocking change that startled Wang Lin.